fingers into the bloody graphics card fans.
Hello!
Uh,
Hello, and welcome to this second episode of Blades in the Dark. What happened to the first episode, I hear you ask? Twitch didn't happen to it, is what happened. Twitch decided to stop listening to the stream partway through. For reasons we don't fully understand.
It's fine. Just Twitch hates us. That's all. Fine. Whatever.
My name is John, and I am joined by Sean,
Hello.
Tanny, Amy,
Bonjour.
and Sean.
Buenos dias.
Very multicultural this evening, apparently.
Yeah.
And we are joining you for an episode of... I don't know why I'm being so emotive to the camera, because I'm not on camera at the moment.
Boiling wildly, John is.
Flinging hands wildly all over the place. We are joining you for our new stream of games that are role-playing but aren't D&D. We're working on the title. This is Blades in the Dark, a dark fantasy gothic game set in Doskvol, a Victorian-ish era town with some slight tweaks. One of those tweaks being that ghosts are around, and vampires and witches and magic users in general. The other being the sun went away.
Well, that's not very nice, is it?
I think that covers it in its very basic form, doesn't it?
There was a good about 1,000-ish years ago. There was a great cataclysm, and which shattered the sun and broke open the doors of death.
Barovia?
So
And,
we
and
live
so-
in the world now.
yeah, you do.
Oh, that's not good.
And it's a joyful place, and because the world is when you die now, people don't stay dead. Their spirits come back in some form or another, unless properly disposed of. The rest of the world outside of towns and cities isn't nice, and so you are all locked in a city surrounded by walls of lightning that keep the dead out, but also keep everyone in. So it's a bit of a powder keg.
In this stable city of Doskvol, where nothing bad ever happens, last time, a quadtet of random strangers and people who had vaguely heard of each other, possibly, all received a letter asking them to attend a bookmaker's. At said bookmakers, Mist, Thunder, Cheshire, and Hicks gathered and spoke with someone who was working on behalf of the engineer. I can't remember the guys who we spoke to, though. Who did we speak to?
You spoke to Mr. Smythe.
Mr. Smythe.
There was
The engineer, apparently, in the kindness of his heart, wants the very best for the scoundrels of this city,
Suspicious.
and requested that we go and prove we are worthy of his time by going and stealing from a doctor some notes about the ghost field wall things. I didn't fully follow what we were stealing. We stole some notes. Thunder can't read, so they're not that important to him.
You stole some research notes about a project that this particular group of Sparkwrights, which are the city's engineers, were working on.
Yes, that is a thing we did. We broke into their building We snuck through it. We knocked out a guard, because we didn't sneak through it very well. We crept upstairs and found our way into the professor's lab. We rifled through his belongings. We pocketed some of them. We stole the notes, as well as making it look like other things were stolen. We turned on all the gas taps and left via a rope out of the window. And as Cheshire kneed the guard that had been chasing us in the happy sack and descended the rope, Thunder fired a bolt of lightning at the lab, causing a large explosion, and the nice guard that had been chasing us is now no longer alive. We done did a murder.
Well, you did say he was going to plan on doing that, to be honest with you.
We got away with the notes and we returned to the nice Mr. Smythe, who passed on both the gratitude of the engineer as well as the rewards in the form of access to the building. The bookmakers could be used as a front for our services, and a small orphan child who will act as a messenger to deliver messages to Mr. the Engineer.
Yes.
In the downtime between sessions, Thunder spent some time training in his general mystical arts, as well as a little bit sort of the prowess and prowling side of things. And then everybody else is going to have to say what they did, because I don't really know. So,
Yes.
Mist.
So I did a little bit of training with some. Is it finesse?
I believe you did. Yeah. Well, you did it in the prowess, which includes finesse, prowl, skirmish.
Yeah.
So.
So I've got my first tab of that filled in. I also went to go and visit a friend of mine, just to check on proceedings, what had been happening in the news of what had happened previously.
Yeah, with the murder and everything, you know.
Yeah.
The murder, what we done.
You did a murder. So the murder happened.
Yeah. Just check who was looking into what. That's just.
Yeah.
Hicks, what did you get up to in your downtime?
Hmm. I don't think we actually did Hicks's downtime
Oh,
because
No.
we'll come back to
So-
that in a second then. Cheshire.
We'll get on for a minute.
Cheshire took up a couple more jobs which helped to train him in his prowess and resolve.
Yes, he did.
So
So
he's been doing great.
yeah, he's been doing some stuff to beef himself up a bit. And
Oh, I think we resolved that, like, he did a job for his prowess and then slept with someone for his resolve.
yeah,
You know, the important
much.
stuff.
Yeah.
you know the important stuff.
Living
And
the best life.
and then as for, I mean, we can very very quickly do Hicks's things. His downtime doesn't take that long, really. Or we can do that afterwards, whichever we prefer. I can provide 2 downtimes to Hicks to go over last time and this time.
What do you
if
think,
necessary.
Tanny?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you want to quickly do your downtime now, or do you want to do 2 of them after this session?
I think we'll do 2 of them after the session.
Sure.
Fair enough. So,
Take it
I
away,
believe this-
Mr. GM.
I think this is where I take over to the talking now. So, it has been a few days since you blew up a lab and killed them.
We did that thing, yeah.
It blew up a lab and killed a man.
You keep saying it like it's accusatory. I don't like your tone.
I mean, you killed a man.
You say that like it's my fault.
It was your fault.
Yeah, but you don't need to say it like it is.
It's not like you accidentally trod on his shoelaces and he fell out a window. You turned on the gas taps and blew up the room.
He didn't need to be in there.
He
It's
didn't.
his fault for putting himself there, clearly.
It's your own fault. Screw him. But anyway, it's been a few days since that occurred, and Mist has been and seen their friend and gotten the information that because of the extreme damage that was done to that particular lab, there isn't really much evidence to go on.
Okay.
Even though something as like blatant as that has occurred, a lot of the evidence that you were there was destroyed because you got in through a window that was already open. You didn't really leave much trace there, so it's not like you've not left a lot of evidence. The only evidence is the guard who saw Mist, but even then it was dark and he was a little bit panicky and everything, so he didn't get the good look at her before he was knocked out, just the flat. He was, yeah, and so his account can't really be trusted too much. So you've kind of gotten away with it a little bit. They are still investigating, but there might not be anything to really come of it because of that. But you've waited a few days, and you've all done whatever you've been doing. And you and the bookmakers that you are kind of like taking up the back rooms of has kind of started up business as the front. They, the bookmakers was only closed the day that you did the job, the first initial job, but literally the day after, a bunch of people kind of just came in, started working, doing their jobs as normal, allowing you to come and go as you please.
Nice.
And eventually, one afternoon, early afternoon, while you're all in the bookmakers, there is a little knock at the door to the back room, and no one comes in. They just knock at the door and wait.
Who gets the door?
You open the door.
Should I get the door?
Anyone expecting anyone?
I'll do
Anyone?
it. I'll go over to open the door.
Go and open the door, and on the other side of the door is Runt, the little orphan boy.
Oh,
He just kind of stares up at you with big, round eyes.
what do you want?
Just keep staring.
What do you want? What? King speak? You have a place?
Yeah.
Cool. What do you want? Why are you here? What's up?
Yeah, even longer.
Just tell back to the guys. Guys, there's a creepy kid here.
Thunder sort of comes over and pokes over the side of Hicks and... Hey, Runt.
He stares into Thunder's soul.
You got a message or something? You want to just come in?
Yeah, I just like staring at people sometimes. And he hands a letter.
Takes letter.
He holds out a letter, and you take the letter. Bizarre.
Do you want to come in and
is-
stare at some people while we read this, or?
It eats the letter.
Sure. He just like pushes past you both and just comes in and just starts like staring at Cheshire.
Thunder
Just sitting on like
looks and sees how Cheshire's taking it. Contemplates pointing Runt at someone else. Starts opening the
Cheshire-
envelope.
Yeah, Cheshire's just chilling in the corner right now.
He stares. Eventually, but he keeps staring at you, and you know he's staring directly at you, but it's like you're not quite sure when it happens, but it's like it slowly turns. He's staring towards Mist. So it's so slow and gradual. It's almost like you don't quite know when he stops staring at you and starts staring at Mist. It's like
Thunder takes the letter out of the envelope, looks at it, and then hands it to Hicks. And I can't read.
I'll read it.
you will read it. Then it is in your journal.
Were there any pictures on the first page?
There were no pictures on
Who
the first
sends-
page.
Who doesn't send a letter with pictures?
There were no pictures. There were no pictures at all. There was the only picture that you could possibly have seen is the wax seal that is on the back of the letter with a cog with the letter in it. That's it. But yes, there is a note, which should be in Tanny's, in Hicks's.
I have it.
It is the mysterious note of new acquaintances.
Okay. I'll read it out.
Yes.
So, greetings, my friends. Your previous jobs, while a little louder than expected, was terrific success, and I have received word that the recipient and his employer were mostly pleased with what you procured. Better get off this. Better get out.
It's weird that it says that in the letter.
Who's Bella?
They really transcribe everything.
Oh, that's just my dog.
Oh.
I have a dog. It's just hiding underneath the cat. The employer was so pleased in fact that he's requested a meeting with you to discuss another venture that you can assist in. This meeting will take place in the Nesting Crow's Foot near the 4th Bridge to Char Hollow tonight at 8 p.m. Tell the men guarding the door to the back rooms that Mr. E sends his regards. They will lead you in when needed. Yours, the engineer. Well, shit.
Do any of us know that place?
I feel some of you would have heard of it. Mist most certainly would have heard of it, being from the city. First of all, I will click on the button. I'll click on the button.
Click on the button.
I'll put it. Ta-da! It's now in all of your things now, all of your journals. You've now got a mysterious note of new acquaintances that you can peruse at will.
It's got a
but yeah,
big picture of the label.
It's got a big old picture. But yeah, in particular, Mist would know that the Nest is a place in Crow's Foot that is near the 4th Bridge to Char Hollow. And it is a drug den. It is a... I mean, it's a fairly nice drug den in as far as drug dens go.
Upmarket.
Market.
The Waitrose of drug dens.
It's got it keeps its patrons comfortable and keeps them safe while they're off their heads, and yeah, it's as high end as you could get in Crow's Foot. It's not like the most high end drug den in the city, but it's pretty high end.
Okay.
But yeah. And it's mostly known for. I mean, they provide for a variety of drugs, but it's mostly a drug known as Dream Smoke that they are heavily known for.
Man, dude, I'm on that good dream smoke, yo.
Yeah, it's Dream Smoke.
What?
Dream Smoke.
Dream smoke.
Is this like
Yeah.
a pricey drug?
It's not exorbitantly expensive. It's a drug that is it's kind of a lesser form, a milder form of a harder drug. So it's fairly pricey, but
Would I have tried it before?
I don't know. Have you tried it before?
Maybe when I'm hanging out with the right. When I was hanging out with our threesome, we smoked it once upon a time, and it was good stuff.
And you know it is. It's not. It's like it's a kind of like a watered, like kind of like a it's kind of a. It's hard to describe. It's kind of like a powder, like a kind of like flaky
Yeah.
kind of thing, and you do smoke it.
Vincent tuck it all in the divorce.
And it induces kind of a pleasant intoxication.
You got some deep past there, Kai.
Yeah.
Don't call me Kai.
Only my mother calls me Jack. But yeah, so
Did
you
he take the name in the divorce as well?
Yes, he took the name of the divorce.
But yeah, it's so yeah, that's what the nest is. It is a drug den.
Yeah, I would have relayed that to everyone.
Alright.
So yeah,
So how do we want
It's,
to play this, guys? The voice is meant to be cracklier than this, but it's just not happening tonight.
just not happening.
It's not happening. Somewhere around here.
There we go. That'll do.
Well, I'd say we go back to stealth, because that certainly worked well the last time.
Yes, sir.
I mean, stealth for a meeting. We sneak into the room where they're having the meeting.
Oh, well, we can either do that, and I'm sure it'll be fine, or we just invite ourselves in.
Well, we don't need to invite ourselves in. We've got an invite.
Well, we will make a new invite to one up their stupid invite, and we will go in, and we will be cool.
Okay.
My voice should also be deeper than this. Sorry about that.
It's fine. We're all on helium right now.
Yeah, it's really in the air today.
Really, helium? I couldn't use worse things than that.
But I'm sure the ones who've got the most charm, i.e. not Thunder, will be fine. We'll act like we're normal. So Thunder, just...
I'm normal. Pulls out drums and plays on them.
I think you might pass as the entertainment, mate. So I think you'll be fine.
Oh, it's a drugs den. People love me in drugs dens.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Right, well, you can do all the talking then, mate, if you insist.
Oh, I mean, I didn't say that.
Exactly.
Somebody fancy should do the talking, like Mist.
Sure.
You do the punching. I'll do the magic. And Hicks will be there. Thank you for the follow, Call Me Gravy. You are Gravy.
I refuse. I'm not going to call you Gravy. I'm going to call you Gravoo.
Welcome to the final boss fight party. Take up your sword and let's take on this final boss fight together.
You startled me so bad then.
Again, I don't know why I'm emoting for the camera. When the I should just put the camera on this screen, but I haven't.
You could, but will you?
I thought you were going to say I should just sellotape my hands to the desk.
I mean, that's another option. I don't know if it will help.
I mean,
Just hear tape ripping.
I'm more thinking we just hear the sound of a desk being scraped along the floor as he wildly tries to just flail his arms.
Yeah, quite like to see that, to be honest.
Anyway,
But you won't, because I'm not on the camera.
I know, and
Okay.
it makes me sad, John. But anyway, yes, let's...
Yeah, I agree, Mist. If you want to do the talking, that's fine with me.
I can give it a shot. Can't promise anything, but...
Just litter a couple swear words in and out, and people will love you.
Sounds good to me.
so Do you wait until 8, or do you try to get there a little bit early, or do you be there flashing?
Let's get early and have a good look around.
Yeah.
And see
Thunder would do the same sort of thing
yeah.
he'd done at when we first did the Bookkeepers, which is show up about half an hour early and just sort of sit outside and watch the place.
Okay, so Thunder's going to be going earlier, and then the rest of you are going to go and meet up with Thunder and all go in. Is that correct?
Sounds good to me.
So,
Yeah, I don't think there's much that I can do. I'd go a little early, but just like I'm just sort of keeping an eye on who's in there at that present time.
Gravy
Yeah.
has redeemed a
Opposed to-
stretch, so that's just like Stretch Armstrong.
Thank you.
They can't
There,
see.
My shoulder's clicked.
Please don't
Just
kill
everyone-
yourself, Stretchy.
everyone just kind of put some strain in your voice to make it sound like you're stretching.
Like, if I just stretch out this way real far, I'll just tap Amy. If I just stretch
Ow.
all the way to where Amy is.
Why would you do that?
And then I'll go the other way and I'll stretch out to Sean.
Hand out my window.
Oh, sorry.
You just hear the sound of a window slamming. And doing that.
Ah!
So, Thunder arrives pretty damn early.
Unfashionably early.
And you kind of just like watch the front of the place.
Yep.
And it's from the outside, it's very nondescript. It's just got like a little sign out the front with just a picture of a bird's nest, just like swinging in the wind as it blows.
I mean, I'm kind of assuming that given that it's a drugs den, and you know it's not the fashionablest part of town, there are a number of like people sleeping rough on the streets, because I picture that is pretty much everywhere in Duskfall. There's not too
there's
far
a
away.
there are a fair few rough sleepers in Duskfall in general. There aren't tons of them. There aren't as many as you would think.
I set
But-
fire to them.
No,
Is that why? Is that why there aren't that many?
But you know, if you like go down like back alleys and stuff like that, you'll find them. You'll probably find at least one if you just wander the back alleys. Really,
Thunder finds somewhere it doesn't look out of the way that he would just be sat for a while and just watches the place. Like not directly in front of the door, for instance. He's not there, but like,
yeah, just standing staring at the door. Yes. So yeah, you set up a little bit away and just watch the place, and you see there are a fair few people coming and going. The people going are a lot more giggly. Some of them are a little bit just like more kind of like in some sort of a stupor as they leave.
okay.
But the people going in are fairly like kind of all walks of life. Really got like some relatively well-dressed people, office types, glasses and things like that. Got some who are a little bit rougher looking, not necessarily not like hobo level rough, but fairly like scruffy people, like
Right.
possibly like got like look like they've come from like a day's work or something, and they're coming here to blow off some steam. But yeah, it's like you see people coming and going all the time. You do see also like kind of roaming the streets. A couple of like occasionally you'll see like a small group of relatively tough-looking guys going around. They most certainly are.
Are they?
They are.
Ooh.
Yeah, like I said, they're fairly tough looking. They're kind of wearing relatively dark clothes, like kind of grey trousers, boots, like black jackets, and some of them are carrying kind of lamp lighting poles, like not lit, not like the like kind of bit on the end where like normally there'd be a flame to light a lamp. That's not lit, but they kind of just like walking around with those like over their shoulder, which strikes you as fairly odd in this particular street, because this street doesn't have any sort of like oil or like any sort of lamps that could be lit by them.
Okay. Are they going anywhere in particular, or just sort of wandering?
They just be kind of wandering. They just kind of like, and while you're waiting there for like half an hour, you do see them kind of like walk all the way, like walk past you, and then a good few minutes go by, and then they walk back, and then a few minutes go by, and then they walk back again. So it's like they're patrolling this street.
Is it the same people?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like they're not like
Exactly
masked in any way
like,
that you couldn't tell.
Probably a group of about 5 of these kind of burly-looking men.
Okay.
I say burly-looking men. There's 4 men and 1 woman.
And they're all burly
fairly
looking.
Burly. All burly looking.
Okay.
But yeah, they just kind of roam back and forth.
Do they pay any
like
special attention to the nest, or?
No. I mean, like occasionally, if someone's a little bit loud coming out of the nest, they might like, give them a look, and then that person will kind of like quiet down and just kind of hurry along his way.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all you really see while sitting there.
Okay.
And then after that, you said that Mist would be coming along next, really.
Yeah.
So Mist comes along next. Do you take up another position also looking, or do you try to find Thunder and get any information?
I think she would wander past looking like she was sort of on her way somewhere, just to try and spot Thunder.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, if she spots him and he's somewhere that she can stop as well, she would go and say hello and check in and see what he'd found.
Yeah.
If Thunder sees Mist, he makes no attempt to like hide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't like wave her over with both hands, but
Mist, I'm over here.
I'm hiding.
So, if you're not making any sort of like especially like big deal to hide yourself, I feel that Mist knows what you look like enough to realise, yeah, that's him over there. And yeah, you kind of like wander past briefly, and then kind of like you just find someone kind of like. I feel that like that the place where Thunder is set up is kind of near a bench. Just
Yeah.
like on the, and you kind of like just park yourself there. And
Could rifle through some bags or something just to sort of be looking busy.
yeah,
Maybe
and
write
so
some stuff in a notebook. Potentially.
and so yeah, you're both relatively near each other, within talking quietly distance at least.
Thunder would quietly point out the 5 burly people that are currently marching up and down the street at regular intervals, attempting to light oil lights that aren't there, and suggest that that's slightly suspicious.
That is indeed odd. Would that register anything with Mist of like having seen guys before?
Yeah, you would know fully. As soon as once he points them out and like you see them go past, you know exactly who these people are. They are They are members of the Lampblacks. They are a relatively decent sized gang that works in Crowsfoot.
Oh, okay.
They used to be lamplighters, which, you know, is a trade that's was fairly widespread throughout the city and all that. So they used to be the Lamplighters Union.
Yeah.
But once plasm was discovered and pretty much not all the lighting in the city, there are still a few areas of the city that do require lamplighters. Most of the lights in the city were replaced with electroplasm lighting. So
Okay, so it was a dying trade, basically.
they suddenly found themselves with an extreme lack of work and turned to alternative activities.
Yeah.
And so they still wander with their lamplighting rods, as almost like a sign of their gang. But yeah, and with the fact that you're also going to a drug den, the Lamp Blacks do own a fair number of drug dens.
Oh, okay. And are they guys that people know just like not to mess with, or are they like
They're not. They're kind of more kind of. They're fairly. They know not to mess with them because they have held their own. They have been in the city for a very long time. But at the same time, they are also kind of respected as well, because it's like, no, they're not necessarily unfair in their dealings. Like,
so you
so long as
like you treat them with respect, basically.
Yeah.
You want to stay on the right side of them, ideally, but they're fair enough. Okay.
yeah, like I said, they used to be a guild. They used to be a respected guild, and they've just fallen to a point where they can't continue being a guild anymore. So they've turned to more nefarious things.
Yeah. In which case, I think in talking about it, I'd be kind of clear to bring up the same what happened to them, you know, with all the technology shift and that. They do what they can, but I suppose makes sense. Maybe they're here for this building.
Out with the old,
Kind of
in with the
makes
new.
sense in a way. Yeah, it doesn't suit everyone, sadly, but you know, they keep busy running their new ventures. Maybe they're to do with this, who knows? We'll have to keep an eye. Just be wary.
Yeah.
So, after a little while longer, Hicks and Cheshire join you. Sup, bitches.
So,
And
I
I'm
just shagged 3 grills on the way in.
just like, yeah, it was weird.
They all lasted a minute.
put your pants on, Cheshire.
Never.
I'm so sorry. I had my first energy drink today. My mind's been all over the place since I had it.
Well, that would explain.
It was mango. It was really nice.
Do you have Mango Loco? Is it Mango Loco? Oh, I love it. Love Mango Loco.
Amazing.
It is. Oh my god. Anyway, so you arrive. Do you debrief the other two as to what you've seen and that there are other lamps around, or
Yeah.
so? Yeah, you're told. You're told about the.
I'm also intrigued that this is apparently the second part of this week's FBF themed role-playing sessions where one member of the group has been hopped up on caffeine or caffeine-like products. I'm intrigued to see who's going to be very high on coffee or energy drinks tomorrow.
I feel called out.
Me. It'll be me. It won't be. Anyway, so the hour of 8 approaches thusly. What do you do? What do you do now the hour of 8 is approaching?
Well, we had very clear instructions in the letter as to what to do, didn't we?
Yes, you did, but are you following?
I mean,
I suppose.
I feel that some of us, at the very least, should follow them.
So you're going to enter the nest?
Yes.
Yes. Okie dokie.
Mist would follow the letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thunder would too.
Yeah. So the building is kind of like set. It's kind of like it's on like street level, but there's steps that lead kind of down to the front door of it.
Oh yeah.
And you go through the front door, and you are met with not an enormous room, but fairly decent sized room with like comfortable couches along the walls and some like kind of like cushions on the floor where there are some people kind of just like laying out in like a haze. And there is a very pungent smell in there. With a lot of lights that are kind of shaded with like purple glass shades to make the entire thing kind of like a wash of purple. And there's a fair few people. There's probably a good like 10 to 15 people, like either just sitting on couches or, like I said, on the cushions on the floor, just kind of smoking away, and some that are just like kind of laid out, kind of just staring at the ceiling. They're alive. Just to point that out, you can see them breathing, but they're just kind of like
They're just out of it right now.
It's just that they're out of it. And there is like a counter with a gentleman behind it, and a lot of like various jars that they're kind of like they're not clear glass jars. They're kind of like I can't think of what the glass is called. Kind of like just wobbly, kind of like textured glass.
Right.
So it's hard to tell what's inside. You just know there's stuff inside them. And yeah, there's a guy behind this counter in front of all the jars. And then there is a door next to that counter with 3 fairly brawny guys, like sat in front of it. Like one leaning against the door and 2 on chairs either side.
What were we supposed to say again?
Wait.
Just in the letter. Ah, yes.
Mr. E sent his regards.
Thunder approaches the 3 burly men. Mystery sends his regards.
Regards.
They all kind of like look at you and just kind of like take you all in, like look you all up and down, and then
Slowly drums.
and then the one, yeah, he looks a bit confused as you drum, but he goes, "Right here," and kind of opens the door behind him and goes in, and then a couple of minutes pass, and he comes back out, followed by another person.
Miss would have taken up a seat somewhere close by, but not have been stood the whole way, just not wanting to draw attention to.
Yeah, that's fine. So, like I said, he goes out, he comes back in, and he comes out with another person who is kind of a scrawny, kind of not completely hunched over, but like got kind of like a slight like stoop to them. They kind of got like a relatively thin nose and like hair kind of like tightly tied in a bun at the back of her head. She kind of like goes, "These them?" So, "Yes, boss." So, So you're the ones Mr. E have sent, eh?
Yes.
Hi.
And just kind of turns and walks through the door she's just come out of.
Are we about to follow you, or?
Well, you're hardly going to attend this meeting standing out there, are you?
Nope,
Yeah.
that was not.
Didn't tell us. We were just told to wait. Okay. Thunder goes in.
Follows.
Follows!
Yeah, we'll follow as well. We'll nod at the guards on the way through in a kind of respectful sort of thank you sort
I
of nod.
strut.
And does the Cheshire follow as well?
Yeah, I just said I
Yeah.
strut.
Yeah, that's what you strut through. And as soon as the last of you strut through, the guy who went through the door to get this person, like immediately just like closes the door, like follows behind you, closing the door behind him, and follows you along this corridor. And it's a fairly winding corridor. There's a lot of there's a lot of doors either side. It's like there's a lot of rooms in this place. You thought it was a lot smaller than it has turned out to be. There's like a lot of doors either side. This is a fairly big place, but it's just fairly small at the front.
Absent-mindedly drums as he follows.
And
Well-
lead you.
As last person in the queue before dude, we'll turn back to him and go, the rabbit warren you have here.
And he just kind of like nods and that's it. That's all we get from him.
She'll just turn back and just have a look on her face of, wow, talkative much. Out of the way so he can't see it. Like, you can tell
And-
that she's, questioning it.
She's not happy about being snubbed in such a way. It's like,
I'm trying to be polite, you jerk.
and yeah, this woman that you're following just kind of keeps like, and it's like, it seems to go on forever. It's like you go all the way down the corridor, you turn a corner, you go down there, you turn another corner, you go down there, you go down some steps, you turn around, you kind of like double back on yourself at the bottom of the steps, you go along some more, and it's like and then eventually, you're led to a door, a very nice door. Like all the other doors have been kind of like standard. It's just like this door is kind of like a very kind of like it's nicely varnished with kind of like you're not quite sure if they actually are actually gold fittings or they're just like made to look gold. But it's a very nice looking door. And the woman that you've been following just goes, here we are, and just kind of like knocks on the door in like a very particular way as well. It's like she goes, it's hard to do. It's like knock knock, knock 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 knock, knock.
Who's there?
Is it?
Just here.
Is the route we've taken so twisty-turny that it looks like it kept going back on itself to try and throw us off, or
Really, it was a lot of,
or just
like,
a long
you kind of-
way through underground tunnels?
Initial corridor led to the initial corridor led to a T junction, which you went down one way. You went along a bit. You turned another corner. You went down some steps. You kind of went back on yourself, like so. Technically, you were going like under the floor that you just were walking on,
Right.
and kind of like turn another corner, and it's like it wasn't necessarily massively complex. It was just there's a lot of corridors back here. It's like
It's a lot of rooms to fit in.
it is. But yeah, you're led to this big door, and like she knocks in this. I've even forgotten how. I think it was knock, 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 knock.
Yeah, something like that.
And you just hear the voice from inside, "Come in." And she opens the door. Says, "We've got the group from
Victims.
Mystery."
Got the victims.
Yeah, we've got the group from Mystery. It's like I now know it's now knock 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 knock. Anyway, right,
I need to
come in.
remember it.
Come on in. Let's have a look at them. And you can go pick it. And she'll say, "You sure, boss? I mean, you don't know if I'm sure we'll be fine." And the lady kind of, once you've all gone in, closes the door behind her, or closes the door behind you all, and she's not in the room. You're just in this room, which is a very, very nice office. It's like I said, it's just like a lot of very like dark wood paneling along the walls, and a nice like bookshelf on one side, and a nice dark kind of mahogany-esque desk with a nice big chair behind it, and 4 chairs sat in front. Not as nice as the one behind the desk. And standing in front of that big chair is a fairly, like, he's not like it's hard to describe him. He's not huge in terms of height, but he's huge in terms of breadth. He's like extremely wide. Like
He's the cartoon mafia boss.
pretty much.
Okay.
So he's like got very broad shoulders and very like tree trunk arms.
Yeah.
And so he's built, but he's not hugely. He's not short, but he's kind of like average height, but he's just like very built. And he's got kind of a short crop of kind of salt and pepper hair and some fairly bushy sideburns.
Okay.
And he's currently holding a cigar in one hand. He's fairly nicely dressed as well. It's like, so it's all you lot, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not really what I was expecting, but
What were you expecting?
I mean, I was expecting some sort of weird gadgets and stuff, considering what you did to that laboratory.
Yeah, we have ways.
We are our own gadgets.
So how are we helping you?
Thunder just starts like tapping on the drums in the same pattern as was knocked at the door.
He kind of just like looks at that and goes, "I expect you to forget that, son.
Forget what?
That pattern you were knocking."
Oh, this pattern.
Yeah, that one.
That's a good beat, though.
That it is. And it's very hard to teach a particular knock pattern to a group as large as ours.
Noted.
Yes. Either way, if you want to take a seat, kind of gestures to the seats.
Thank you.
It's down. So,
Hicks sits on the seat, but not in the way, more likely like she gets like a stool and sitting on that, like you know Elle from Death Note, right?
I was going to say, you're
So
either
kind
going
of
to sit
like-
like Elle or Riker. This is...
I'm definitely
So,
gonna
like,
Hicks is definitely sitting like Elle from.
So kind of like get their feet up on it and kind of like almost like squats on it rather than.
Yeah.
Just, he kind of like looks at you sitting like that and goes, "Okay." Right. He just kind of, he kind of like sits himself down and kind of like leans over the desk and kind of once again just keeps like taking you all in, kind of. Think you'll all do. Now, our introductions in order. Or do you know who I am?
Doesn't hurt to have it from your own mouth.
Of course. Well. Well, my name is Bazobaz. And I am the leader, of the Lampblacks.
Of course you are.
Kind of like turns on Cheshire, holding back, laughing. Got a problem with that?
No problem at all. Listen, I've had a sore throat recently.
Saw some of your men outside.
Well, we do own a large portion of this area. To say that we have to keep ne'er-do-wells out, don't we?
Might want to lose the lamps. It makes them a little bit noticeable.
Well, it's a way of keeping our traditions alive. We all want to know where we come from.
Yeah.
And
plays on the
you
drums.
might be a little bit old-fashioned keeping those kind of things around, but we do still light some streets. Just not all of them. But that's besides the point. You all have proven yourself to be quite useful.
We have a
I
way
had a
of
job
lighting
that-
things up, yeah.
Well, I had a job that needed doing. Mr. E evidently found out about it and got you to do it for me. Which was a lot easier than getting that bloody...
Well, great.
The
We've done
professor
it
that I-
for you.
You did, and that's why you're here.
Oh, you've got another
I
one.
I do have a job. I've got possibly a few jobs that need doing that you can help me with. There is a event that is coming up that I need to make sure goes well. For multiple reasons. But it requires a few special tools. I have.
Oh, we're nothing if not special tools.
You are indeed special tools. But I do have need of a few other more precise things. More object things that actually I need to pull off a particular deed to make sure this event goes off without a hitch.
Alright, keep talking.
So, I've got one that is on the way currently. It will be arriving at Gaddock Rail Station in a few days. But I've also heard word that someone has tipped off that there's going to be some illegal substances on the train coming in. The same train where my object is coming in with.
Well, that's mighty inconvenient.
It is. I've got my suspicions on who the hell it is, but that's besides the point. I know that the bloody watch have planned to completely shut down the railway station while they do their investigation as soon as the train comes in. I need some enterprising people to go in, obtain my object, and get back out again, and return it to me.
This object. What is it exactly?
It is it's like, it's hard to describe really. It's a club specifically for use on the less living individuals of this city.
It's a ghost club.
A ghost club.
Intriguing.
It was being experimented with in the Imperial City, and I managed to finagle my way into obtaining one to assist in something, like I said, that will help this event going forward.
I'm assuming
But-
clubbing a ghost.
Hmm. It is a ghost.
Well, I mean, you don't want a ghost club
But
to
we
club
all-
someone else, do you?
Can I be fully transparent with you all?
Probably not.
Would be appreciated if you could.
Yeah,
but-
sure.
I know a couple of ghosts
You
that
see-
can do that, but
You see, my daughter is getting married.
oh, your
in-
daughter. I thought you
My
said
daughter
your
is getting
daughter.
No,
Sorry,
my
oh.
daughter.
I'm listening.
My daughter is getting married
Congratulations.
a few weeks' time. Thank
But-
you.
Thunder, what did we say about the talking?
Misty's gonna do it.
Yeah.
I would very much appreciate if anyone but him talk.
Well, now you've hurt my
But anyway.
feelings.
I couldn't give a stuff about your feelings, mate. Now,
Daughter's getting married.
my daughter's getting married in a week or so's time. That also is because there is something going on in this city that the authorities are deciding to not deal with. Something that is very dangerous to my daughter and her betrothed. And he proceeds to just chuck a paper onto the table. He just like kind of opens the drawer next to him, pulls it out, and just kind of slides it across the table to you all. And you see
We'll grab it.
this.
It's not your daughter,
Which
is it?
should have. So no, it's not my daughter. The Scarlet Bride has been terrorizing parts of Doskvol for I can't even remember how long. But she attacks and kills people who are either freshly married or soon to be married.
Well, that's
Like
very
the old days,
inconvenient.
She doesn't get to everyone, obviously, but she gets to enough to cause enough of a stir.
Yes,
And
you
when-
can see it would cause you some nerves, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Now that it's my daughter that may be in the way, luckily, the Scarlet Bride tends to not attack people in their own homes. Not sure as to why, but she tends not to. So at the moment, my daughter has been locked away at home, as has her betrothed. But I want this ghost dealt with. I don't want my daughter being scared. I don't want her betrothed being scared. I
Question.
want this.
That's very
Mhm.
considerate.
Who is her betrothed?
Her betrothed is the daughter of the leader of the Hive. Fairly
Alright.
nice match, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, sounds it.
I mean, they're very high up. If we can marry into that,
You'll
we'll
be
get
set.
we'll be getting some much needed support financially and numbers wise.
Understandable.
Primarily for Miss, but I feel all of you kind of heard about it anyway. The Hive is essentially kind of like a merchant's guild,
Yeah.
but they're not adverse to doing some nefarious things to get their way as well. They are as powerful as the Lampblacks are. They're even more powerful.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I need this wedding to go forward, and I need this ghost dealt with. And for this,
It does surprise me to hear that you're coming to us. Are they not invested in doing anything about the ghost problem themselves?
They are the ones who have helped obtain this item.
Oh, that makes sense.
They have a lot of sway, especially in the Imperial City. So, but at the same time, I've heard, obviously, you managed to get the plans that I required, which were very useful. Which possibly another little endeavour will come up in the future where you might be able to utilise that. But for now, I need this club. And I'd like you to go get it for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that works for me.
Sounds fair enough. Is there any other additional information you can give us? Obviously, we want this to go preferably without a hitch, so any additional notes, references, people that we could speak to would be appreciated. We want to get this right.
What's that? Well, in terms of people you can speak to, there's only really a couple of ways into Gaddock Rail Station. Either the main bridge, which will be watched by the watch when the train comes in. You can go through Night Market, but I'm not sure how you're going to get into the rail station, or at least onto the rails through that. Or you can go in by the river. Other than that, I don't really have many contacts in the rail station itself. I've got enough people on, like, I've got enough informants in the watch to let me know that there's going to be the watch there. But sadly, none of them are going to be on the bust.
Right, okay.
So it's more like, what do you need to know?
Well, there's a way to get into the train station.
There are ways to get into the train station.
Can we get another train in there beforehand?
You'd have to get out of the city to get there. I don't much fancy your chances through the Deadlands.
That doesn't sound doable.
With the stuff that Mist knows of the area, does the river seem like a feasible...
Well, if I take you to this...
Oh my god.
Map.
If you look, I mean, while it doesn't say what the numbers are, if you look at number 4,
Yes.
that is Gaddock Rail Station.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you, as a local, you would know that all along, like the river here, there are a bunch of little piers and docks along it to, like, for various deliveries that need to be made, and as well as a lot of docks around here as well. However, these ones are more for... These ones are, that are a lot more guarded, because this, like, serves the larger river that can lead to the docks itself and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, the rivers is a possibility of a way in. Obviously, as I said, there's also the main bridge that leads to kind of a covered over bit here, which leads into the station proper. But then there's also, further up, there is a bridge that leads into Night Market, which could lead to a way in along this edge. But It may be watched, it may not be watched.
Alright.
Set it up.
If we did need, I wonder, for example, are there any deliveries that will be going into there that we could go with, perhaps? You know, the moving of stock and slip off to one side kind of play?
It's a train station. And it's the only train station in the city. It's fairly busy. Always deliveries going in and out.
But do you have any direct links that we could make the most of? Obviously, keeping things within your well-controlled bubble would be probably ideal, but there are options outside should we need it.
I don't really have anyone.
Okay.
At least I don't know of anyone who's going to be delivering
know-
anything there.
We know when the train's coming in.
It's coming in 2 days' time at 6 o'clock in the evening.
And we know that's when they're going to shut down the station.
The station will probably be shut down beforehand, but not long beforehand.
It's a busy station.
It is a very busy station.
Well, I won't want to shut it down long beforehand if it's a busy station.
It won't be long before, but like a good, maybe 15 minutes before.
Enough time for them to clear out.
Yeah.
Check for any undesirables, as it were.
What
Phrasing
if
myself slightly.
we were in a big box being shipped somewhere that happened to be in the train station at the right time?
That could be arranged.
Then we don't need to worry about getting in, because we'd already be in. We just have to get out of the box.
And make it back out again, but...
Yeah.
Well,
Out's
this is all up to
easy.
you.
We'll give it some thought. We've got 2 days. We've got time to plan. We'll let you know if we need anything else.
Yep, just let us know. If you wish to go by that plan, I definitely can get you in if you want to go in via a box. But
Padded
Yes,
box
one
would be
way.
nice.
Yeah?
it's up to you, really.
It would take some of the logistics out of it, I suppose.
Hmm.
I feel the rest
If
of it we
you-
should discuss without oversight.
That is perfectly fine.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted with the planning, and if we do go via box, we'll contact you to be getting that arranged. Who do we contact?
If you just tell the man at the counter upstairs, he'll get a message to us quickly.
Yeah, we can work with that.
Do we need any sort of special knock or phrase to let him know we're serious?
Just get Pickett to introduce you all on the way out. He's got a very good name for it. He's got a very good face for names. Names for face. Mind for names. Words.
He's got something.
He's got a good brain.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Which in and of itself is pretty surprising considering where he works, but yeah.
Well, clearly he doesn't sample his own supply.
No. Well, Pickett. The door opens and the scrawny lady comes back in. Says, yes, boss. make sure that he sees the guy at the counter. Introduce them all. Of course, boss. And she, like, ushers you to come follow her out of the room.
Aye, fellow.
Yes.
Yep.
You all follow.
We'll go
And-
last again, and on way out, we'll just say, "Pleasure to meet you."
Pleasure's all mine. And the door is closed, and you are all led out. And as you go past the front counter, Pickett, Bob, look, these are all the people that are working for the boss. They might come to you with messages. He kind of like looks you all over, which is, even though he's like, you've been assured that he's got a good like mind for faces and stuff like that. He is, that you can see one eye has got like a very bad cataract, so it's like he's blind in one eye probably. It's like, so, yeah. Like, he literally looks at you all and goes, just like so looks at Cheshire, yep. Looks at Hicks, yep. Looks at Mist, yep. Looks at Thunder, yep. And then just goes back to work.
What's that about?
I think we've
It's
just
got,
been registered or something.
Just acknowledging us.
Sounds like it.
It takes a couple of seconds for him to like lodge faces in his mind.
It looks like anyway. I'm covered in.
So,
Okay, well, I guess we'll be off.
see you soon then, I suppose. And Pickett goes back through the door to the back room and leaves you in the drug den.
So should we have some fun before we leave, or
Yeah, this place is not even my kind of type of place.
it's a bit expensive, I suppose.
Me and up to you. I'm gonna head back. Want to start getting some papers together.
Sounds good to me.
So
So?
you either return to the bookies to. Well, like I kind of explained last time, but I didn't explain this time. There's very little planning goes on before a score normally. With this, obviously you're trying to like plan a way in, which I'll be allowing, but like most of the planning happens in reverse, so keep it kind of loosey-goosey.
I'm
So-
leaving Space Force. I will have planned something.
Yes.
I will have collected papers on something. I don't know what.
Yeah.
But there is space that planning would happen here.
There are possible papers. So it's kind of what way will you be feeling would be the way you'll be trying to go in? Either in the box or other methods.
I mean, I like the plan of going in the box, but that's also because it's my plan.
It is also your plan, but
So I
everyone
feel I'm
has that.
slightly biased towards said plan.
Has anyone got any better ideas?
No.
Or-
Like, huh?
I don't see why not.
There's solid
Yeah.
sneaking this bitch.
Yeah, I reckon
So-
that could be an interesting way to get in. They wouldn't be as worried about stuff coming in as long as we're
Da, da,
slipping
da.
out of the box before all the security locks down, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And he said he's got trusted people that could do that for us, so might as well make the most of it.
with the once again, I'll say that Mist would know this. You do know the name Baz Owens. You know that man you spoke to is the leader of the Lampblads.
Yeah.
So he has connections. If he decides to create a couple of boxes for delivery to the Imperial City, he can get boxes in there if he really if he wants to. He can get boxes in there.
And he definitely has a daughter who is getting married, I assume.
you know he has a daughter. You've not really heard much about the marriage. You have heard that there might be some wedding bells in the air, but they've not. Evidently, they've not really been advertising this, if
Yeah.
it's going on at all. But yeah, he can get you in.
So
yeah, we'll go with that then.
follow up slightly different question for you, Sean.
Yeah.
With Thunder's particular skill set, does he have any experience with or know of any ways that you tell a ghost to piss off?
You know, you are able to like commune with ghosts, and you can try to tell them to go away and leave you alone and things like that, which has served you very well in this city. There's been a few times where you've been wandering the city alone and something has attempted to do something, but
it's not a
you
reliable.
It's not a guarantee, and especially if it's a very powerful spirit,
Okay,
there is a chance that they will outright ignore.
that's fair.
But yeah.
So sorry, just the way you described that, I like to think Cheshire. So guys, I've heard of this new bar game going around. It's called Phasmophobia.
It's got Faz. It's Faz. Oh god, it's Faz.
Phasmataz.
Phasmataz. Oh god. So yeah. We have a somewhat plan of entry. So over like I don't know, maybe the next day, you go in. One of you goes back to the either one or all of you, maybe, I don't know, whichever
Some
you want really.
number of us.
Some number of us return back to the nest, and you give a message to Bob, to which he once again with his like one working eye just looks at you, yeah, and then just kind of scribbles down something, goes over to the door, and kind of does a different knock than you remember the door being given on Bazo Baz's door. And another man who looks very similar to Bob comes out, but he's not like exactly the same, but looks like he's dressed almost the same, has the same haircut, has the same kind of like scraggly kind of beard, but doesn't have the cataract anymore. It's
Yeah.
and takes his place behind the counter and disappears off, and Bob himself disappears off into the back room, and your message is delivered.
Cool.
And eventually Bob comes back and just gives you another note which just says your transport will be at the docks on Pier 3. Look for the lamp mark.
The lamp mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, and underneath PS, if you want to depart by water,
Swim.
flash a lamp with the sequence you know.
Cool.
Okay.
Do we have a lamp?
You may have a lamp.
Hicks, you're the lamp person.
You're the lamp.
You're a lamp child.
I mean, I assume that might be a piece of equipment we could have taken in with us. Could be going to have taken in with us.
You could possibly take that in, but you say what? Is there anything else? Once you've delivered this message and gotten this message back, is there anything you wish to try and do before you're kind of going?
No.
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 I'm gonna. Well, I'm going to take a normal load on this mission.
Yep. So pick your loads, people.
Yeah, I'm gonna go normal load. I might have dropped in to talk to Vance again, my friend, but
Anything in particular you be inquiring with him, or
really more just like confirming that that's along the lines of what he'd heard too. Kind of more of checking things are truthful and
as in the train station being locked down, or
yeah, train station being locked down, whether he'd heard anything about a wedding.
oh yeah,
Those kind of just checking that we're not walking into a trap more than anything.
he confirms pretty much everything we're told.
Okay.
He confirms that there is a wedding. It's being kept very hush hush. They want it. It's seeming to be that the couple wish it to be a surprise, but also the Lamp Blacks and the Hive want it to be a surprise as well.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like going to announce it quite readily, but also because of the Scarlet Bride, they don't want to announce it yet until they know that's been dealt with, because no one's really sure what prompts her to attack.
Yeah.
So they don't want to fucking they don't want to
Chance it.
They don't want to chance it. That's
Makes
what
sense.
he's heard. And he has also heard that there is a sting. He's not heard like real details, but he has heard that there is like a planned sting.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of, as far as Mist is concerned, it's more like if there's rumours of things, then it probably is correct.
Yeah.
And it's just, not wanting to have been. I think she's probably still not quite sure about who this person is who keeps sending them to do stuff. So she's kind of still just on that bit of, I'm just going to be doubly sure, I'm going to check some stuff out, just in case.
That's fine. So, if we're all ready, you'll be heading to the dock number 3. And you've all picked your loads.
Medium.
Yeah, medium.
Yep.
Everyone going for normal.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Oh,
So,
wait, question. What if we chose light? How would that affect it?
it would just be the fact that you only have 3 points that you can basically spawn items into. It makes it so you are a lot less conspicuous.
Yeah.
But you carry a lot less. Well, with normal, you're obviously carrying stuff, but it's not obviously ton of stuff. With heavy, you're very conspicuous. You are obvious. You're almost like decked out like a special operation.
Right.
You are got bags and pouches, and it's obvious.
I'll stick with normal then.
Everyone's going normal. Cool beans.
I'm very normal.
You are very. You're not. You're weird and I love you.
MC2MXF in the chat says that they have had some experience playing Blades in the Dark, as they have set the Lamp Blacks HQ on fire in their game.
It's not very nice.
I felt that should be brought up at this point.
Yeah. And in that case, if there's someone in the audience who is aware of the game and everything, I'm sorry if I butcher the rules. I'm doing it as best as I understand.
You're doing amazing, my dude.
So, for a engagement roll, we got 1 just for sheer luck. Is the operation particularly bold or daring? I would say you are going to be infiltrating a place full of the Watch.
We're breaking into somewhere directly under the Watch's nose and stealing something while they're looking for stuff.
Yeah,
it's pretty brazen.
Is it overly complex or contingent on many factors? really.
No.
I mean, you're being
Nah.
put in, so it's all good. Does a plan's detail explain the vulnerability and target or the weakest? I mean, does the plan expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? You're kind of gonna be smuggled in before they lock it down, so I would say there is a kind of vulnerability that you're exploiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the one.
Yeah, we've
Uh,
picked a smart time to try and go in rather than just walk straight through the front door.
And so, can any of your friends' contacts provide you with any insight of this operation? I would say not
No.
really. I mean, Mist has gone with their friend to kind of like
Back up some
confirm a
details.
few points.
Yeah,
But
that's not actually helping with, it's just
No.
confirming.
They're just confirming any suspicions.
Yep.
So, not really. And are any reasons? Nope, that's not either thing either way. I'm gonna go. So that is a whole 3 dice that we're going to be rolling for the engagement roll.
Let's roll as well as we did last time.
Let's roll as good as you did last time. For those at home who couldn't have seen the last one, they rolled a critical success, so they were in a very good position. Oh, that one fell off, so we're going to roll that one again. Well then.
Uh-oh.
Well. So.
I revert to my previous statement of
Oh.
Hecky wecky.
Right.
No, it's not bad. It's not bad. You are in a fairly good position starting out. We've rolled a 2, a 4, and a 6, which we take the highest.
Yeah.
Roll a 6.
Okay.
So you're in a good position. You're not in as good a position as you were last time, because last time you were in a brilliant position.
Yes.
This time, really good position.
But it's fair this time.
So, when you go to Dock 3, you look around and you find a group of 4 boxes that are probably about 3 foot by 3 foot square. They're not massive boxes, but they're big enough that you could kind of sit down.
Yeah.
And they are all marked with a lamp symbol. With a, they've also got like an address label for the Imperial City, for the Imperial the address for the Imperial Palace, no less.
Yeah.
And inside the boxes, when you open the lids, there is a latch on the inside that you can lock from the inside.
Okay.
There's a lot of padding, there's a couple of cushions and things like that. A little bit of food and water. And there is, in one of them, a small oil lamp.
I thought of everything.
Yeah, so you all clamber inside your own boxes. Who's going to take the one with the lamp?
Oh, we said Hicks, right?
Hicks?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You happy with that? Okie dokie.
Before we step in, Miss would just double check, are we going by... What route are we going in by? Like, because we could either go in via the docks, was it? Via the water?
Yeah,
Or...
it was stated in the letter that you're going by water.
Yeah. And then the lamp was about...
Getting out again.
If you want to leave by water, then flash the lamp in the same sequence you know.
Yeah, that's cool then.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So you all get into your boxes. I'm going to assume you all slide the latch across to make sure that the lids are down tight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you spend the next kind of few hours kind of getting jostled about,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of just like you get like you kind of feel as you're getting lifted up. You hear kind of like muffled conversation. What the fuck is you talking to? And you get put down, and it's like swaying underneath you. So you assume you're on some sort of boat, and there's some sloshing sounds and things like that. Once again, muffled conversations of. Shut up! It's like and eventually, after like a good solid, probably another solid hour or so in the boxes, like swaying out on the water, you hear like a honking sound of a boat hitting something.
Yeah.
And once again, you feel yourself getting picked up. It's, these boxes are getting heavier. It's like, no, it's not getting fucking heavier. Just put your back into it. And
Oh, that's fucking rude.
And you eventually feel like after a lot of jostling and things, like you feel yourself just like getting like once again clonked down, and you're on solid ground. You're not swaying or anything like that.
Yeah.
Although with being on a boat for an hour, you might feel like you're swaying, but then eventually that kind of clears, and you're like, and yeah, you're stationary, and you hear outside. You hear kind of this. You hear a lot of like talking, like just general background chatter, and sometimes you hear like a whistle, and sometimes like the escape of steam, just like and like trains coming in, like squealing of brakes and things like that. You are quite obviously in the train station.
Nice.
And let's say you arrive there. I said about so it's coming. The train's coming in about 6 o'clock. You've heard they're possibly planning on locking it down around about like 1:45. So let's say you arrive there about 5:15. Actually, no, 5:30.
Okay.
By any watches you might have.
I was going to say, are watches a thing that we could even be able to see at the moment?
Watches are a thing. They are a thing.
Oh, I guess they would also work in the dark because the sun's gone.
Yeah. You all have kind of, with there being very little sun, there's only like a little bit of twilight in like the morning and evening. You've all kind of got a little bit of dark vision anyway. It's just when it's very dark, you struggle still as any human would. But
say when you've locked yourself in a big old box.
Like when you look yourself in a big old box. But there are like the boxes have been made in a very specific way in that there is gaps between the slats of the box, like the planks of the box, to allow some light in. Not a lot, because otherwise people could look in and see you all in there, but enough to allow at least a little bit of light.
Yeah. That's fair.
And you're all in your boxes. It's about 15 minutes before they're intending on locking down. What are you doing? Are you going to wait, or are you going to...
Yeah, gonna wait.
Wait.
Yep.
So
Me thumbs.
you wait a little bit, and round about 1:45, you hear a lot of whistles, stomping boots, and you hear a lot of very commanding voices say, "Right, this place has been locked down on the name of the watch. Everyone, please vacate the premises immediately. This is an official inspection, and and it's just like starts like just trying to you can hear lots of similar voices ushering people out. A couple of people complain, "I've got a train to catch. You can't make this." And you start hearing a lot of disgruntled voices leaving when they really don't want to. A couple of even more disgruntled voices of people complaining and asking, are they still going to get paid for today's work? And And yeah, just a lot of people moving around and being escorted and leaving.
Gonna keep waiting.
And- Do you keep waiting?
Waiting.
Waiting. Eventually it starts to like simmer down, and you still hear like occasional like footfalls, kind of like walking past and things like that, but it doesn't sound anywhere near as busy. You occasionally still hear like the hissing of like pressure being released from like a boiler and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it's quiet right now. Just like the occasional kind of distant footfall. Sometimes a footfall going right past your boxes. But yeah.
Yeah, okay. Happy. We'll be keeping an ear out for the other boxes sort of opening.
So the question is, who's opening their box first?
Me.
Cheshire has volunteered. So, you open your box?
Yes.
Are you just kind of bursting out like a stripper in a birthday cake, or are you slowly?
I'll do it slowly.
So you slide your latch open, you slowly kind of like peek out at first, and you are like Bazopaz has evidently done like paid like extra for these things to be sent, these boxes to be sent, because you are right on the platform of the station. You are like right there. You are probably going to be going out in one of the next trains if the trains were trains were still going to be going. You probably would have been going out on the next one.
And if we waited long enough, we still can do.
Yeah. So if you want to go to the Imperial City,
Do like
but-
that Mr. Bean episode where he gets sent to wherever.
yeah.
Holiday.
And at the moment, there's no watch around, but you can kind of like very far in the distance, kind of like see a couple kind of like patrolling along like a far wall, like a very far wall. A couple like positioned at like some doors on that far wall. But yeah, they're not looking your way, and there's no one around you at the moment.
Time to make a move then.
Yeah, I'll get out the box.
You're gonna
We'll follow suit. The box.
everyone leaving their boxes.
What's in the
Or-
fucking box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box, man? What's in the box?
I mean, assuming everybody else is opening theirs, yeah, Thunder.
Yep. Thunder will open the box and leave. So you are in you're pretty much almost outside at this point. You are. Hang on, I provide.
Sean
damn it.
provideth.
Hold on. Just need to close all these fucking things. There we go. Blah. This is a slightly more zoomed in version of
Please.
Gaddock Rail Station.
Oh yeah.
So you are
we are.
literally on like a platform around about kind of here.
Where?
When
do
you
I
say
have-
here, where's the? Can we?
Hold on.
It didn't do a circly thing.
So, yeah.
Which is very rude of Roll20. Why you don't do the circly thing?
Hold on. Let's see if I've got any thing that I could use.
Are you on the GM layer?
I might be a layer. Am I here? You see that?
Yep. MC2M says, "Watch this become an unboxing stream."
I mean, it already has. They've already unboxed themselves. It's
Tune in next time when we unbox the next group of scoundrels.
yeah, when they all die. So you're all kind of on the It's hard to because this map is on the bottommost kind of side of this thing. Are you all seeing the thing? I'm
Yes.
just making sure you're seeing.
Yes.
You're seeing things.
There's a ping.
Great. So you're on like this kind of platform,
Okay.
and there are, and like I say, it's like all the way like over here. There's like a door out here. You can see like a couple of watchlight around there, and you see them like milling around like everywhere. But there is a train along this rail,
Okay.
like parked up on that rail. You can't see any other trains.
So that's
You do see one,
probably
like-
the train.
There is one engine in this kind of shed here, but you can see the doors are open too. But there's no like compartments attached to it. It's just in that shed, probably going for repairs or something.
Okay.
But this is the only train that's on a rail at a platform, and has like cars attached to it. So yeah, that is what you're seeing right now.
Nice.
So how are you getting to that train?
Magic.
I mean, you
good
want magic?
question.
Gonna say, don't say that too loudly. We know someone's gonna.
I can.
No, someone's gonna blow up a lab.
Can I use survey to try and like figure out the best course of action here?
You most assuredly can.
I'm just looking around and just seeing if there's anything I can use or just anything of the sort.
Yeah.
Is it risky?
Yeah. There's still, while there's not any watch directly at you, there are still kind of those wandering around. So there's always a chance that one will kind of like.
I'm blind.
You have rolled a 1 to survey. Okay.
Ooh.
Dear me.
You kind of like, you're all kind of nestled around the boxes at first, and you kind of like reach up to like peek over, and you don't realize that someone had left a wrench on one of the boxes you put your hand on, and you knock it off, and it just falls to the ground.
Ooh.
It was thunder.
And you and you hear from kind of like down a little ways, like where kind of the entrance to the platform is like a big arch, like a brick arch, and you just hear, "What was that? Someone dropped something over there," and you hear some boots kind of clomping their way, not at a rush, but kind of like, kind of striding around to try and see if there's something to investigate.
No, don't go away. I'll try and hide.
Try and hide? How are you going to try and hide?
I'm gonna command myself to hide. No, I'm gonna.
You hide really well, you.
Can I use
Yes.
prowl?
You can try and prowl.
Yeah, I'll do that.
It would still be risky. 5. Okay. 5 is you have succeeded.
Nice.
But there is something that has gone right. So, you have, I feel with this, I can't think of a complication because the point of like 5s and 4s is you succeed, but there's a complication or something bad has happened. But at this, I can't think of any complication that would cause you to still succeed.
How about it's just a bit stressful?
That's what I'm thinking. So
You've
will.
got a slightly dead foot, so the next time you try and run somewhere, it's just a little bit slower than normal.
I will say that you have succeeded in hiding, but you will take a point of stress because of it.
Oh, okay.
So if you put a point of stress on your little thing, just like
There it is.
yep. So point of stress.
Oh, sweet.
So you kind of just kind of like dive back into like a pile of boxes, not like not into the pile of boxes. That would just make more of it. You can like just dive down to these boxes, and you just kind of the watchman just kind of comes up and goes, looks around, and goes, "That's probably something fallen, whatever," and he just kind of goes back. Huh? Who's reference to these? And he just
They're
kind of like
yours,
wanders back around
Dave.
the corner. They're always yours. It's like, but yeah, he goes back and he goes back around the corner, and kind of muttering to himself, saying, "Stupid old building, probably a bathroom outside that." Stupid. So yeah,
Okay.
you managed to hide, but yeah, a little bit stressful situation.
I will leave the decision making to the others.
I will
Okay.
have a crack at surveying to
Oh.
see like the routes that people are taking, whether there's like a gap in the traffic that we could use to kind of shift places and move our way through. Is the idea, I think.
If you roll a 1, I'll kill you.
I will laugh my
I'm
arse off.
100% going to roll a 1 now. You do realise that, don't you?
I hope you're happy with yourself.
Nah, you'll be fine.
That's going to be risky again.
It's
Yeah.
going to be risky again. You're in.
Standard.
Da, 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 yay!
That is a 5 and a 3. So
So it's an 8.
no, no,
No, it's a 15.
no. So yeah, once again, you do manage to kind of like peek out, and you do see a couple of times where there is like a couple of the watch that are kind of like walking literally down the rails, like literally going like along the rails, like going all the way along, which obviously you manage to like poke your head down just as they're like going by, and they're kind of like going all the way, and you see them kind of like disappear behind this building and then reappear behind the ground again, and they're kind of just doing a loop, just going round and round along the rail. So like along this rail, up around this corner, back out around this corner, down to the rail, along the infinitum.
We'll very, very, very quietly convey that to the others.
And as for your consequence, once again, I can't think of anything that would. I mean,
They're blind.
they're blind.
My
I'm going to
face
say
fell off.
I'm going to say once again, this is like, especially after the last, you kind of have a bit of a flashback to what happened last time when you were trying to be sneaky and stuff, and you in particular got really fucking you got caught, and you're feeling a little jittery in this situation. So I'm going to say that you also take a stress for your consequence.
So I click the stress button.
Yep, just click that, and then you've
There
got
we
a
go. I have a stress.
This won't be every time it's stress. It's just that I can't.
That was relatively stress-free.
You get a stress. You get a stress.
So yeah, you notice that particular group. Every other group is kind of like the archway where the watchman came out to investigate the wrench being knocked down. You can see now that there is another watchman on the other side of that archway looking towards. So like the arch is like around about here, and they're looking like towards this big like dome thing. So they're like looking out towards the front entrance of the station.
Oh, okay.
So they're not really paying attention to the inside of the platforms or anything. You
They're
feel that
expecting that it's already cleared out, basically.
they're not expecting anyone to have squirreled themselves away. And while you're surveying as well, you do notice that not everyone has gone. The watch have seemingly allowed some of the railjacks who work work on the rails and work on the trains and stuff like that. There's a few of them that they've allowed to stay because they realise leaving a large pressurized boiler alone isn't exactly the best thing. So
I don't want to explode.
they have allowed some of them to stay. So there are a few railjacks like wandering around as well. Not a lot of them, but there are enough of them that you notice that there are a few.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that is what you see as you survey.
So yeah, we'll convey that to the others so that they're aware of those routes.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to move, right? We gotta
Yeah.
get over there somehow. We're just waiting for this gap.
We are familiar with that MC. We haven't used it yet.
What?
Are you familiar with pushing yourself?
Yes, I have explained it. I've not explained it this session, but I have.
We've also not had any particular require to really push ourselves yet.
I will
Yeah.
push myself onto the railway track.
God damn it.
Oh, he insisted.
So yeah, you gotta get across, and there's like I said, that particular patrol circling around. So it's to you when you want to make your break for it, and how you want to make a break for it, and all that jazz.
Aravel has just raided the stream with 19 viewers, and Zombie has just come in as well.
Oh,
I
thank
think
you
we
guys.
just hit the end of Communa Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Zombiara peoples. Zombara, how was your
Zombara.
streams?
Zambara. Yeah, I guess we just stop moving.
Just make a break for it once they get.
Thank you for the
Past the-
follow. Sorry, I'm just going to keep talking over the. Thank you for the follow, John Glib, and thank you for the follow, Zombie Workshop. Welcome to the final boss fight party. Take up your swords and let's take this final boss fight on together.
John, stop breaking the serious immersion here. Yeah, like as soon as they've gone, we'll just zoom.
Is anyone else going to be joining Cheshire in this Zoom? Or
No,
Yeah,
they
we-
can
we
zoom
gotta
alone.
Hey.
Okay, yeah, I'll zoom.
everyone zooming? Everyone doing the zoomies?
Gotta go fast.
Yep.
Gotta go fast. So, yeah, roll something to
Oh.
zoomy as you will.
Oh, this is gonna be awkward because I'm on tablet. Problem is though, I can't. Unfortunately, my pen can't hover over what I need.
Well, I can explain any particular things you need to if you need it.
I think prowl was
Prowl?
Go.
Prowl, unseen, traverse obstacles, climb, swim, run, jump, and tumble, ambush, backstab,
Yeah.
cutthroat.
I'll go prowl for this one.
So yeah, roll a prowl, or if anyone else wants to. I mean, I think prowl is probably the one.
I can't finesse this, can I? There's nothing I can do in that. It's gonna have to be
Really?
prowl.
Finesse is really kind of more sleight of hand, kind
Yeah.
of more sleight of hand and misdirection and stuff.
Yeah.
If you can
Sorry for me.
think of any way you could use finesse, then
No.
I'd be willing to hear it, but
So-
I don't feel it's really the thing.
Alright, it's
I'm
position
gonna have
systems
to-
now.
Gonna have to risk a prowl. There's no other options.
Let's go.
I'ma do a prowl.
Standard effect.
Yay!
Standard effect and all that. Yeah.
Oh,
I
thank
think
God.
crap. Did I just roll a 1 and a 6? Great.
It's a four.
Well, if
Oh,
you've got
that's
more
a
than one dice,
three.
it's you take a higher dice,
Ah.
Annie.
This is a mixed bag.
High five, Hicks.
I done a
So,
fail.
You did do a fail. My word, you did a fail.
Push yourself.
Not as bad a fail.
I mean, actually, that's fair. Can I push myself after rolling? I can, can't I?
You're supposed to announce it before, but I'll allow it this time. So,
Oh.
if you just roll again,
Well then,
and we'll see.
rather than taking the 2 stress, I will accept a devil's bargain. Sean, what are you offering?
Devil's Bargain, you say?
Hello there, it's me, Satan, running alongside you. What would you like?
Right. So, you want Devil's Bargain.
I also have
Let's...
2 things.
It's me, Satan, sipping my kind of monster. Would you like one in these trying times?
Okay, we want a Devil's Bargain. So, you can have the extra dice, however... And if anyone else can think of a good thing as well, you're welcome to chip in, because Devil's Bargains can be posed by anyone.
Well, I just gave my offer of some monster mango loco if you'd like, mate.
What even is that voice?
I don't know. I'm Satan. I can have any voice I want, and this is the one I choose today.
You remind me of that Satan bot in Futurama. I don't know why.
I am going to say that you can take your extra dice, but no matter the result, you will drop and break your drum.
No!
That's evil.
It's a Devil's Bargain.
I mean, yeah, they're not nice, but
We can fix it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you can't repair it, and by all means you can probably
well, for
relatively
fuck's
find
sake, that was a waste of time, wasn't it?
Really?
So let's go for the Shantha. Let's go for Mist.
Hello.
So the first two, first of all, Cheshire and Hicks, you managed to just like dash and you're like keep low, and you managed to get to the train on the other side and kind of like just press yourselves against it.
Smush yourself right in there.
And, okay, you managed to like you climb up onto the couplings area between the cars, and you kind of like press yourselves against like the inner part of the cars to be out of the immediate vicinity. For Mist, you try to keep low, but from what I remember of what you wear, you do have kind of you are wearing like a fitted dress, and as you're keeping low, there's like a point where you just kind of you go past one of the like, little kind of like one of like the signals between the rails.
Yeah.
And it just like your dress suddenly just like snags and just kind of like it doesn't tear or anything like that, but it's enough that it kind of like catches on the signal and kind of like pulls it and just hear a noise.
Okay.
And it's enough again that you hear from once again the archway that the watch member came from before. Go, for God's sake, what the hell is going on? And you once again hear the clomping as if there is someone going to be approaching soon. But because you rolled a 4, you still managed to get over and get to the other side.
Okay.
Now, Thunder, dear sweet Thunder. You are trying to keep low, but you've already got quite tattered clothing as well, and it's like as you're scurrying along and you're trying to drum on your drum, and it slips from your grasp. You're like, kind of like the what you say, and it falls in front of your foot, just as your foot's coming down, and you just step on it with an almighty crunch, and it kind of makes you lose footing, and you don't fall over, but it's enough that it's kind of like it slowed you down in time for the watchman to come out from around the corner. Go, hey, what's going on here? He comes running over to you. Are you going
Throw
to
the broken drum at him.
What are you gonna do? There's a watchman on his way to you.
Oh, what is Thunder gonna do?
What would Brian Boitano do
I don't know. He's not
if
here.
he was here today?
My
If he was
brain just jumped straight to just bark at him. Pretend you're absolutely mad.
Oh my god.
Can I wait for him to get close and hit him?
You can wait for him. You can let him get up to you. So yeah, he's like, right, what's going on here? What are you doing here? You should all civilians should have left the premises.
I wish to skirmish the man and try to knock him out.
Then try to skirmish the man and try to knock him out.
Come on, Dice, be friendly.
You can try to push yourself, or you may wish to try to ask for another devil's bargain if you require any more dice.
I mean, that probably would be helpful. I'm going to push myself and take 2 stress.
Yep. So mark 2 more stress on your track and attempt, and then obviously when it asks for a bonus dice, put an extra dice on there.
I assume, risky and standard, but...
Yeah, risky standard. Right.
4.
4. So you have succeeded. You do, let's say, for this consequence, you literally wait for him to come walking up to you, and...
Oh, he's, like, Thunder completely freezes as the drum breaks.
Oh yeah, you are like... You almost don't hear him, you just like... You're just hearing kind of the muffled, kind of like, as you're kind of like going through the motions of, oh my god, my drum's broken. And then you just suddenly realise there's this watchman stood right in front of you, go, and just smack him. And he goes down like a sack of spuds, just straight away. As for a consequence, as you saw him, he came across to you as a person who really would remember a face.
Cool. Yeah, next time we should get masks.
Go full payday.
Isn't that a planning thing?
I mean, if you want a flashback,
Just putting it out there.
Doesn't that take stress though? And I'm.
it does also take stress, but you can say, I thought that maybe it would be a good idea. It's completely up to you. I can't force you to do a flashback.
Is it one
but
stress?
It will. On this, I would say yeah, because it's literally you just thought it might be an idea to make sure you're concealed during this particular job, with it being the watch.
I flash back to having just left the nest after dropping off the message to say that we were going in by box, and I say to whoever came with me on this particular voyage to drop off the message, it'd be a really good idea to get some masks so that we can cover our faces for this. And then we go and get some.
I probably would have been the one with you, so yeah, she'd agree.
And then we go pick up 4 masks.
4 masks? That's absolutely fine.
And then we put them on before we get in the boxes.
That's absolutely fine. So yeah, for the space of all this, if you're spotted, you are wearing masks when you first. I mean, by all means, if they get close enough, they might be able to whip that mask off. But in this particular occasion, he didn't have the wherewithal to be able to get to your mask, to be able to pull it down, but you managed to lamp him and he's not. And so you have circumvented that particular consequence.
Thunder scoops up the bits of drum and sort of just absent-mindedly follows the rest of the group.
Fair enough. So you get to the same coupling that they've all gotten to. yeah, you are currently in like the between area between two cars, and you've got somewhere on this particular train is a parcel that you're after.
With my
What's that?
surveying from earlier, did I see anyone on the train? Like, are they locked down pretty much, or?
You didn't see anyone on the train, but at the same time, this does appear to be kind of more. There are a bunch of like kind of the front lot of cars are all look passenger cars. Then there's two back ones that are completely. They're all shuttered in. They're evidently there's no windows to them at all.
Okay.
It's kind of like big box cars.
Yeah.
But throughout all the passenger ones, you didn't see anyone. But obviously, you can't tell inside the other ones, the back two.
And we're by the closed off ones at the moment.
You're between. I'd say you've gotten in between the two back ones. So the two ones that are completely shuttered and no windows. You're between those two.
Okay. Who's listening at the door?
I don't know who's listening at the door.
Not me.
I can. Would that be another survey?
What is survey again? Survey a location or locate a situation, understand what's going on, travel before it can. Yeah. I would say it's another survey.
Yeah. I will attempt.
Once again, I can't tell you what to roll. So if you think that's survey, yeah,
I think
survey me.
If you're happy that fits, that's the one that I would go for.
It's the one that would make sense to me, at the very least.
Still
again,
risky, I assume.
I would say in this particular situation, I'd say controlled.
Okay.
Because you're currently hidden between two cars. You're not really massively visible.
Yeah.
So
While you guys do this, I'm going to run and grab a drink.
Alright.
Gonna hit that. Oh, great.
In terms of a consequence for that, either way, you try to listen to the door and seems fine. You can't really tell. And you do kind of with this. I'll say that you, but yeah, with that it's just pretty much just standard failure. So it's just like so far as where you can't hear anything.
Yeah, we'll just turn to the others and be like, I think it sounds empty.
Works for me.
Night, guys.
Night, Tiny.
Good night.
So yeah, doors the door's been listened to and it seems empty.
Brilliant.
Seems
I'm
Alright.
not skirmishy type to go first, so someone who hits
I'll go
harder,
first.
just in case.
Yeah.
You open the door.
Ta-da!
You get on the floor, and then everybody does the dinosaur.
Yeah.
You come in, you enter this particular thing, and it's got a bunch. It's a train car, so it's quite narrow, but it's got a lot of shelves along both sides, and a set of very relatively thin shelves going along the middle as well. And it's full of parcels and boxes and letters and things like that. And there is indeed no one in it.
Oh.
So yeah.
Yep. Let's look.
So you've got a particular thing to find.
I
So,
will
are you going-
use survey to find it.
You can use survey to find it.
Are we still risky?
Are we using survey to find
I'm going to
it?
say this. I'm going to say, if you wish to use survey, if you wish to try and use anything else that you think might work to find it, you can try, but survey makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to use survey to find it, I would say currently, I'm going to say you're controlled
Cool.
because you are in a blocked off car with no windows, and there's like, so it's, and you're just like kind of looking around. Well,
Can't see shit.
shit, man. So yeah, if there's anyone else who wishes to survey, or like I said, if you can think of anything else you want to roll to try and find it.
We're doing great.
Guys just don't like us.
I mean, 4's okay.
That's what I've learned. It's what I've learned about this game. Like 5s and 6s are rare.
But here's the thing: it is. I mean, it's 4s and 5s are successes, but with a complication. It's 3, 2, and 1 are outright failures.
Yeah, but we seem to be getting a lot of those.
Yeah, and obviously 6s are you succeed with absolutely no problem.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing. It's like you're succeed. It's like you're more likely to succeed. Well, you've got a 50-50 chance of success, but then like you've got like a 2/3 chance that there'll be something that will happen with that success.
Yeah.
Makes it a little bit more risky.
Thunder at the moment is just following the group.
So, Cheshire. First of all, you search around, and it's a lot of boxes. It's just like loads of boxes and loads of letters, and you know you're looking for like something that could hold a club.
Yeah.
But it's like there's a load of boxes that look like they could hold a club, and it's you're not even looking at labels to like see if there's like a particular name or like a particular symbol that might show you this is the one. You're just like, oh, there's so many. Oh, for God's sake! You're just like kind of like chucking things. It's just, I don't, you know. And
There's a cat screeches somewhere because you've thrown that as well.
yeah. And as for the old mist, you
That
do
old. Jeez.
old as the mountains. Like,
Rude.
you. I mean, just because you're old as the mountains, John.
Very rude.
Oh no. Anyway, so you do like start having to shuffle through, and you find an area where you do find a set of boxes that look like that could be roughly the kind of things you're looking for, and you do find a group of boxes, all of which look like they probably could hold a club. You find about 4 boxes that all look like it. All marked with the symbol that was on your own boxes, the lamp symbol.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's not as like, because on the boxes you came into the station on, it was kind of like really kind of like painted on with like some sort of like stencil, you think. With this, it's kind of like they were kind of like more drawn on with like a pen.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was very easy to kind of see that that's what. But yeah, you find about 4 or so that are marked with that symbol, and they all look like they could. Some of them are a lot larger, so they could fit like 5 clubs if they really wanted to.
All of the
But
plots.
there are some that look like they could hold a small club. So it's you don't know which one it is, but
But I've narrowed it down.
you've narrowed it down to there are a bunch marked with that symbol. So
Yeah. One of this set, guys. Muttered under breath, so that anyone that might be outside won't notice.
fair enough. So you've got a number of boxes that it could be in. How are you going to determine which is the correct one?
Smash them all. No. I don't know.
Who's
mean-
feeling strong and wants to try picking them up to tell the weight?
Could Thunder study the boxes?
You could study the boxes.
To gather information and apply knowledge to them and gain a deeper understanding of said boxes.
You could.
I'm going to try to do
I
that
will
then.
allow studying.
Controlled?
Yeah, still controlled. Admittedly, you're all kind of weirded out at the fact that they've stopped this train and closed down this whole place to look for something untoward on this train. But no one's on it. You're weirded out a little bit. But it is controlled still.
Nope. Apparently I'm not
That's
getting anything above a
amazing.
3 right now.
No, apparently not. You're just really not doing it.
I might just
You
go
you
away.
try. It just kind of sits in the corner. So you try to study it, but of all of them, they all once again, much like Mist saw, they could all easily hold this item,
Ugh.
and it's like the only. And you once again, you also see the symbols of the lamp on it. So it's like, yeah, it makes perfect sense. These are probably the things
these are
in
the
question.
boxes.
But it's like you can't see anything on them by studying them, like feeling them. You can't tell anything that could say for certain which one it is.
I'm resisting the urge to lift them, because if we do, that will make sound if we fail.
I'm not versed in study, but could I try study as well?
You can try
Well,
study. You can try and push yourself if you don't have any points in study, or you can.
What's Hicks proficient in?
Let's have a look, because at this point I really should have their sheet open, because I am now controlling them. They do have a point in study, but they are kind of more built for finesse and prowling, things like that. But they are able to study if necessary.
Sure. Help us out, Small.
Or does Cheshire fancy taking a devil's bargain?
That's a good question.
No.
What was the teamwork rule again?
The teamwork rule is that if you want to help, the person who you're helping gets a dice. It's a little bit. It's like them pushing themselves, except you take the stress, not them.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So if you wanted to help someone study,
Hicks,
they could.
So Hicks has a dice in it.
Yeah.
Cheshire has a dice in it.
No.
Cheshire
So
does not.
if Cheshire helped Hicks, Hicks would have 2 dice in it,
Yes.
and Cheshire would gain 1 stress.
No, Cheshire would gain 2 stress.
Oh, 2 stress. Okay.
That's fine. My pleasure's very simple, so I can get rid of that easy.
So mark 2 more stress on your track.
Okay.
I will do a study in a controlled manner in a standard effect with 1 bonus dice.
Yay!
Hey! Like after Thunder has tried to investigate, and he just kind of he realizes he just can't figure out what is what these could be. It's like you can't determine which one it could be the club in. Hicks kind of looking at them, kind of looking between each one, and is once again is much the same way at first. It's like I can't figure it out. It's like at which point, here's the point. How would Cheshire have tried to help?
That's a good question. I just I guess gather up as many of the things as I could and just read ahead of time, just so Hicks could get it done quickly.
Yeah, so you just kind of like sort them in a way that it's kind of like they're all right there, so that you can kind of like look at them between them all without having to like go from place to place or like have to pick them up and stuff like that. So they're all like laid out nicely. So you've laid them out nicely. That's
Yes.
fun.
So precise. That's why I'm so stressed.
So Hicks is kind of looking between us. So Thunder's looked at them. He can't determine anything. But why wouldn't he be able to? He can't read. He can't read. So Hicks starts studying the labels more than the parcels, and notices that like they're all various businesses, and it's like the Barry's tobacconist and like
Barry.
and Smith and Smith's attorneys and various other names, and then one suddenly kind of springs out, which is the Heart and Club, 3 Club Street, Doskville.
Lovington.
And to a Mr. and Mrs. Clubfoot. And it's like, And she just turns to...
But...
And she proceeds to turn to Miss and say, "Is that a dress?" And upon Hicks pointing it out to you, there is no such street in Doskville, and you've never heard of the Heart and Club?
Yeah, there's none of that. Also, a suspicious number of clubs in that title. Like he might be onto something.
And so yeah, they point out that particular parcel, which is a little bit untoward. Which you've got a possible narrowed down. Or do you wanna
Oh heck.
wanna just grab that parcel and
I think we should open it.
if you're opening it, go ahead. If you wanna open it, yeah.
Like,
feel like
personally, I
we
can take it
should-
and run, but Mist is the more clever one here, so.
I feel like we should open it as well because it will be a smaller thing to try and conceal
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
than taking the whole box.
Right.
Thunder's
So,
sat in the corner. At
you
the
open it
moment.
Can I bring some sort of tools to open it? Like it'd be like tinkering tools maybe, or burglary gear? I don't know. Basically to add one thing to my load that would be something to quietly open a box. Kind of like a small equivalent of a pry bar, maybe.
It's like it's kind of more of a actually no, yeah, pry bar. What I'm trying to think what would have a pry. I think burglary gear would have a pry bar. Yeah, burglary gear has a small pry bar in it.
Okay, that's
So,
one of my weights then is
Yep, burglary gear. That's fine. So you just like pull out your little pack of burglary gear and you pull out the pry bar and just slip it underneath one of the sidings and lever.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make you roll for that. No, I'm not gonna make you roll for it. So yeah, you pop the lid, and inside is a bunch of packing material.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming you push to the side.
I would do, yeah.
And inside is it's essentially is like almost like a billy club.
Ooh!
With a kind of leather wrap around one end as a grip. And also underneath the grip there's like a socket
Oh,
And at the end of the club, like the hitting end, there's kind of 4 prongs that stick out,
yeah.
and yeah, it's most assuredly a thing. It is most certainly, and more importantly, it is most assuredly a club.
Yep. And this matches any description we would have been given.
You were told it was a club that
Club ghosts.
that could be used to harm or at least some way subjugate ghosts. Which
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
which if I will do I want to make people roll? No. I'm going to say that by looking at it, if he comes out of the corner, I'm going to say that Thunder, upon kind of like looking over his shoulder as he stood in the corner, you see the socket at the end, and you think you probably know what goes in there. It's probably something to power it to allow for it to be used on a ghost. Specifically,
Yeah,
you probably think it requires some sort of electroplasm fires, which is the stuff that essentially powers the lightning bolts that surround the city. So
That's
just
the
by
thing.
kind of looking at it, you think they kind of look around about that kind of thing. So yeah, this is most assuredly it seems most likely to be the item in question.
Yeah.
So
We need to go.
you have the item in.
I
You need to
feel
go.
like, given that Hicks is our best prowler, or is Cheshire a match?
Let's have a look.
I've got
I
2 points in prowl.
I believe they're both the same in
Okay,
terms
well,
of prowly goodness.
I imagine it would be one of you two that should take it then.
Sure.
Only because if I get caught, I might have to talk my way out of something, and don't want to be caught with a bat.
There is another option in that I think I don't know exactly the rules for running, but because there is a way to run group actions.
Okay. Interesting.
I've completely forgotten how to do it.
Is there any
Oh,
chance
so
that
like
we
where you
bought?
roll like a group stealth.
Hmm?
Like, essentially.
Is there any chance we
I
can
didn't-
just
I
bring
didn't
a
hear what you said.
label that says "Return to Sender" and just put it on the boxes we came in on?
You could attempt that, but
We also don't want to end up in the
From what
Imperial
you
City if that doesn't work. So
no.
basically, you have everyone roll and take the best result, says MC2M.
If that's what they're saying it is, then yeah, it's if you want to try and do a group action, you all roll the same thing, and it's like I said, we take the best result, and that is all. And we'll see if that is enough to get you to kind of sneak out.
And the leader will
'Cause,
take
I
stress
realised-
for every 1 to 3 player.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not hugely stressed, so I can. Can other people take that stress then if I'm kind of the leader in it and other people are rolling?
It's whoever's leading the activity. Whoever's
Okay.
leading the action takes all the stress. But it's a way for someone. It's a way for someone who's good at a thing to get everyone through it. But
Yeah.
They
they're
take stress for everybody who
taking the
takes.
stress in the back. but so if they manage, so if you know, if we all manage to, if there's some success through it somewhere, then it succeeds. But everyone who rolls too low, the person who's leading it gets stressed because obviously they're guiding these people who aren't good at prowling or
Yeah, they'll
skirmishing.
have to have picked up the secret, basically.
Yeah.
So do we want to group prowl out the door or out through the out onto the water?
Was there one that made more sense with the route that the guards were taking?
Well, in terms of obviously going out like the front door, that's being watched. Along from what you saw in your surveying, there are like watchmen. There are people of the watch kind of going like along the rails, like going like up and down here. The only place you kind of have seen is there's no one. First of all, there is no one in this shed. No watch at all in there.
Yeah.
The only ones that kind of like are going around is the same ones that you saw going around this building and going like along the rail and stuff like that.
Okay.
But you don't. You're in a good position anyway. I would say that I'm not going to make you roll, but you did see that there was like no one really guarding, like I said, this shed or kind of this kind of alley here between the two buildings.
Right. Okay.
Obviously, you've not seen round the corner, but there's no one trolling or guarding this little bit.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, over there seems like a good shout. Well, we'll sort of say that in a questioning tone to people.
Seems a good place to start at the very least.
So, is it going to be a group action, or are you all individually acting, or?
I would prefer to group, just
Sure.
because I'm pretty useless, but...
So what have we got here?
Oh, I'm so dead.
You're so dead. Well,
Is it you or is it Hicks?
I mean, Hicks currently has 0 stress.
I think it's
It would be
Hicks.
safer for it to be Hicks. Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, Tanny, but I think
would-
it's Hicks.
I feel it would be Hicks is the one who is more kind of suited to
Yeah.
stealth. So they are very stealthy. So we're going to do a group action. So gentleman in the chat has said that it's everyone rolls, and anyone who fails, they take a stress for each person who fails. Is that correct?
So yeah, what they've said, and they've just added some more to it. Everyone rolls, and you take the best result. The leader will take stress for everyone who rolls a 1 to 3. You can also elect to split the group, and not all players need to participate in the group action. So if, for instance, we needed to do a thing and Sean doesn't want to and goes a different way, 3 of us can do the group action and Mist goes off and does something else. Obviously, we don't necessarily want to do that at the moment because we all want to leave. But that's an option.
Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah. We all roll, and we roll the same thing, and whoever gets the best
gets
result,
hired.
that's the one we go with.
You take that, but for any failures,
Hicks
the
gets a
leader
point of stress
takes.
for each player that rolls a 1
Okay.
to 3.
So yeah, if everyone could then roll me a prowl, that is risky and standard effect.
Of course.
Standard, go.
Ah.
Oh,
Oh, now
I
you're rolling
win.
a success.
Good job, I didn't roll that on my own.
was that prowl before me? Was that one this most recent prowl? Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So we got a 6.
Yep.
So we take the highest. So we have succeeded.
Hicks takes 2 stress.
Hicks takes 2 stress. So
Okay, interesting. That's
you
quite a nice-
all.
nice mechanic.
Yeah.
It is quite a good mechanic, but obviously, if you all fail, a lot of stress.
Well,
But-
yeah.
Luckily enough, we didn't have that because one of us did succeed, and I thank the good person in chat for telling me, because I knew there was a rule, but I couldn't find the rule in the book, so I couldn't tell you what it was. So
Thank you, MC.
so thank you very much. Thank you, MC. You are a gentleman / whatever. You're a person, a scholar. I'm not going to assume. So, so you all, like, you grab this club and you kind of just like stuff it somewhere. I don't
They
want to
say
say
it's
that-
okay, the rules are hard.
It's a very different rule set from D&D stuff, so it's a lot of stuff to remember. But yeah, so I'm fighting every urge in the world to not say that Cheshire stuffs the club down his trousers, but someone stuffs it somewhere.
So we stuff it
you
down
stuff-
Cheshire's trousers.
You stuff it down Cheshire's trousers,
Works for me. I got a
And-
thick leg.
and you kind of just you just make a break for it, just running. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing this for. I mean, I should have some sort of, unless maybe no, we don't have that. We got yeah. You just make a break for this kind of way,
Yeah.
and
Stealthily make a break.
yeah, you all kind of keeping low, and you just like scuttle along all the way down this line, and you make it to this corner, and surprisingly, there is no one. You see no one along here, like around this area. You see a couple like little outbuildings, like little storage areas.
Hey,
But-
relaxed.
Once again, you see nothing. You see no one, and you make a break for one of these docks. I'm making this a little bit easier because I realize the time and people need to get to sleep and stuff.
Gotta go fast!
Yep.
So you make it to one of the docks, one of the piers along this waterway, and I'm assuming one of you lights the little lantern you've got.
Yeah.
Hicks is carrying it.
Hicks
yeah.
is carrying it.
Yeah, Hicks is indeed carrying it. So Hicks lights the lamp and uses their coat to kind of like flash the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then leaves it for a minute. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and eventually, like after a couple of minutes, you start thinking poorly for a minute as nothing seems to be happening. But then out of the darkness comes a very kind of long, thin, like boat with a man stood at the end, barging it along with a stick. A gondola kind of that comes out of the darkness, and kind of like silently kind of comes up to the dock and stops in front and says, "All aboard."
Thunder slumps into the gondola.
Defeated. It's like,
Don't mind if I do.
Cheshire's just staring at this guy like, you're just gonna sail us to hell, aren't you?
does he say
Like-
that out loud?
He doesn't say it out loud, but he's looking at this guy as if to say, are you fucking kidding me?
He's just got, he is the most smiley, happy person you've ever seen in your life. He's like got a big grin on his face. He's got a little kind of hat on with kind of like it's kind of like, I think it's supposed to be some sort of beanie, but it's kind of like on a little bit too high on his head, so it kind of has the bit sticking up and it's kind of flopped over. It's like,
Oh my god. Is
Does this look suspicious at all? The fact that he just came out of nowhere.
I mean, you
We signalled for a boat and a boat appeared.
you signalled for someone. You didn't know what was going to come. You were never told what was going to come.
I know, it's just, this guy's a little bit creepy, but I don't want to
you
stop
can't-
for
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what can I...
Thunder's in the boat.
Thunder's in the boat. I'm assuming Mist got in the boat because they made the comment.
Yeah.
Don't mind if I do. Hicks, I'm going to say, got in the boat.
Yeah.
And
Just goes off without me.
You've got the club.
he's like, come on, we don't have all day. They're gonna come around and look around here eventually.
Right. Sorry, this just... Mate, you're way too happy.
Can't we all be doom and gloom here in Dustfall, can it?
Yeah, you know what, fair enough. Gets in the boat.
Good. And he just barges off and just starts and like punting down the back the way he came. He starts punting back. I'm gonna move you back to this map. So kind of got on round here, and he. Do I still have my ruler? I still have my ruler. Oh, so he kind of punts you all the way back up. Ignore the distances because it's a lot more than that.
He punched you all of the 10 feet this way.
They punch you all the way up the river. He under the bridge, and he goes under this bridge. He goes down here. Oh no, you saw where he got to. Gets there. Goes all the way. He goes down. Goes all the way back around. He kind of like hugs the coast a little bit. He goes all the way around here, and then goes down here, down here, down here, down here, and then stops at this bridge. And it's pretty much where this particular line starts. Only then does he light his lantern that's on the front of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, couldn't be too careful, and just continues punting along. And eventually, like I said, gets to the fourth bridge between Crowsfoot and Char Hollow, where the nest is. And says, here we are. Everyone made it safe and sound.
Woo.
Appreciated.
Yeah, mate.
You are
that
far too
was-
cheerful.
It was a good trip, he says, not looking very well.
Something wrong, sir?
It's been a night.
Quiet night, eh?
Uh-huh. I need to go to bed.
Well, you got to go and see Mr. Baz yet? Then, straight to bed with you.
Okay, that's fine with me.
It's like, he helps anyone off who needs to be helped off, and just once you're all off, it says, "Great evening to you all," and then runs off into the darkness. So
I hate... This is the worst character ever.
Noted,
you're-
more
you're
characters
very-
like that.
You should be very thankful that you didn't ask his name.
What the fuck was his name?
Well, you didn't ask. You'll
Oh,
never
mate,
know.
what's your name?
He's gone, Cheshire.
I'm just... Cheshire
Ow.
just... Cheshire doesn't pull out one cigarette, just pulls out two at a time.
So you are on near the bridge, near the nest. So I'm assuming you're gonna head there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm dual wielding my cigarettes.
They let you come in with the 2 cigarettes, for that is the least of the stuff they have here.
Thunder continues
and-
just following the group, hollow and empty.
Another meaning follow here. Anyway, so you go back into the nest. You go back to... Do you approach the gentleman at the door to the back rooms, or do you approach Bob behind the counter?
Back rooms, I guess.
Back rooms? Back rooms?
Yeah.
Back room?
I think
Yeah.
we hadn't been told either, but we would, I guess, try that door, and if not, we'd get it confirmed by Bob.
Yeah.
You go up to that door, and there are, again, there's still, as there was before, few big burly fellows out front. And you recognize the one, once again, the guy stood right in front of the door was the same guy who shadowed you all to see Bazobaz the first time.
Yeah.
And he just kind of nods to you all and kind of opens the door for you. Says, I'll lead you through.
I was gonna say, if he doesn't recognise you, can just show him the big club in your trousers.
Either of them.
And so, yeah, he takes you, and one of the others that are sat next to the door close the door behind you, and they lead you all the way back down to Bazobaz's office.
Mm-hmm.
And do the knock knock, knock 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 knock, knock. And they open the door, and once again, he doesn't stand up this time, but he's like sat at his desk, kind of nursing a glass of whiskey this time. He says, here you all are.
You're a bastard for making us do this.
I'm merely asking you to favour.
Well, we fucking did it. Plonks the club down.
Oh, beautiful. He kind of picks it up and goes, oh, this is brilliant. You're going to be needing this, but kind of like he kind of like holds it at its grip end and just starts like kind of like letting it drop onto his hand, like his other hand's just patting it. Well, not as bombastic entrance or exit this time.
Yeah, we did alright.
It was tempting.
Lantern boat did the trick.
Man. What? What did you say? Sorry, I didn't hear what you said properly.
Lantern boat did the trick. It's yeah, it's been alright.
Yeah, we've got a very good relationship with the gondoliers. We do them some favours, they do us some favours. All friendly.
Nice.
I mean, I'm assuming he didn't do anything weird to you. There are a couple of weird ones.
He smiled too much.
Oh, got him. He's all right. A little bit too optimistic.
What's his name?
Him
Yeah?
was Chip.
Fucking cop.
Fucking gets up, walks out the room. A fucking course!
We've had a stressful day, so
You mean he doesn't? What's wrong with the name Chip? You mean?
I've got a friend named Dale. I should introduce them.
Just refuses to come back in.
I mean,
goes
if
upstairs,
you don't
smells
like,
of smoke.
if you don't like that, he'd hate his surname.
What's his surname?
Chipperson.
Takes the whole box of cigarettes and crams them all into his mouth.
I thought of that name on the way. I thought it will be so horrible. They hate this person, and he must have this name.
Chippendale.
Chippinson.
Chippendale. I don't give a fuck. Fuck this guy. I hope I hope his boat sinks. I hope he gets eaten as he's drowning. I'd love that. He can go fuck himself. That is a little pure boy who any once upon a time I would adopt. But today, he can go fuck himself with a cactus, and I would apologize to the cactus.
Yeah, fair.
Just you wait when you next meet him.
He's now going to be a regular character.
Now, anyway, you've got this little item. We need to. There's another little step in what we require, but we need to find where it's sourced first, which we're working on.
Okay.
But if it's all right, we'll contact you when required.
You know where to find us.
Honestly, no, we don't. We've been going through. Well, this time we tried to contact Mystery directly, so I suppose technically we can go that way.
Well, I mean, we have a little operation here. It's our front.
Where's that?
I give him the address.
Oh, the old bookmakers. Oh. I know that place. Yeah. Fine. I'll send a guy round when it's time for the next little step.
Sure.
And with that, our little business is concluded for now.
You're just you're in the corridor going, thanks. Not.
He really had a bad time. Did something bad happen to him? Or
It was stressful. There were a few more people, I think, were anticipated, but we got it, and yeah, we'll figure it out.
Fair enough. Well, I tell you what. I can't expect you to go with nothing. So, let's say... Hold on.
It's a funny thing to say.
This was tell you what, he kind of goes to a... he opens like one of the lower drawers. And he pulls out like a relatively decent-sized pouch and kind of just like chucks it on the table. Split that amongst yourselves. Will be least I can do for the work you've done so far.
We'll pick it up.
That's great.
What is in it?
That is, it is a smattering of silver, and it equates to about 6 coin each.
6 coin each. Where do we put coin there?
Coin is underneath your, underneath the trauma area, underneath healing and armor. There is coin. Obviously, at the moment, you've all got about 4 from the last time.
Yeah, we do have 4.
If you want, instead of because the coin is technically how much money you have on you.
Uh-huh.
But you can put it in. You can put any extra coin into your stash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much do we
Which
get?
6.
I will put that in there.
So that's 6 each, yeah?
Yeah. And how the stash works is if you all take so much trauma and stuff that you have to retire criminals, the stash determines how much or how well you live afterwards.
Okay.
Like 0 stash, you live as a pauper and you are homeless and stuff like that.
Yay!
But if you manage to put away enough money, you can make out pretty well when your little scoundrel retires.
When it all goes to shite.
But yeah, he says, at least I can do for the work you've done so far. But like I said, I'll contact you should be a few more days, and then we'll have details we need. But until then, I'll seize you.
Yeah.
Looking
See
forward
you
to
And he
it.
kind of like, I'm happy.
Everything's going fine. Can I indulge my vice, perchance?
You can indulge your vice, which there is a little button for indulging your vice.
Ooh. How many dice do I roll?
If I'm correct, it's literally just that, the base number.
Base number, okay.
So no bonuses.
2.
You take away 2 of your stress.
Hey! I go to a smoking parlor and have fun.
Yeah, you go to that smoking parlor and you just like sit and relax and you take in the company and you act and you just you let all that lovely nicotine that has no ill health effect at all into your lungs, and it's just it's wonderful. Which
It's
you know,
almost orgasmic.
so yeah. Either way, to continue on a little bit there, that you all go out, you all go back to the bookmakers, I'm assuming, and that is the end of the score. Then it'd be downtime. Cheshire, you've already indulged your vice for one part of the downtime. What else do you want to do during your downtime?
That is a good question. I will
Retro.
do a thing.
A good plan.
Either you can do some you can either do some training,
Yep.
or you can try to source particular items if you want to try and source things. But it's a little more complicated to explain that in the time we have remaining. But yeah, there's training, there's various other things.
I
But
will train in prowess, and I will do it to once again try and find my evil arch enemy, the Biscuit Snubber.
the biscuit snubber. Damn you,
It's just-
biscuit snubber.
I'm a certain level of stress still. I've got 1 point of stress, and I'm going to take it out on seeing if I can find Vincent anywhere, and it will probably end in failure. But you know what? At least I tried.
Fair enough. We'll get on to. Let's go for Thunder. Thunder, what are you doing
Well,
during your downtime?
I'm going to start by indulging the vice, because I really kind of need to this time.
You do really need to. So once again, click on the Indulge Vice button, and it's not any bonuses or anything like that.
2.
Take. I believe with that it's clear the amount of stress equal to the highest die result. So you clear 2 stress. And then anything else you wish to do for your then you could train. You could.
You say source an item. Would that include, say, a new religious drum?
Yes.
Because it's not just any old drum.
Does
It is.
sourcing also count as like repairs?
Repairs require different things,
Only
but
just
it can be used.
because
it can be-
links, like
It can. I mean, if you wish to assist in it, that's absolutely fine. If you want to use one of your downtimes to assist in procuring a new drum,
yeah. I would do. I haven't got any idea of what I would do for the second one. I want to continue training prowess for one.
that's fine. So, for you,
Well, we've got a message in the chat of sounds like a project for the drum.
it does sound like a bit of a project for the drum. So, in terms of with Mist, you wanted to train prowess again.
Yeah.
So gonna put another bar.
Yeah.
And then you want to do a group project, which I really need to do this at this point. I need to let's just save it as that thing. And it is through. So, you want to source a new drum.
Yes.
So, it's going... I mean, I wouldn't say it'll be too difficult to source a drum. Especially since you've got your faith purveyor.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say it's too difficult, especially since you've got someone who could at least try and point you in the right direction and things like that. I'm going to say it's only going to be... I'm going to say it's only going to be a 4. So, drum sourced. Which... It may be a little bit too... it may be a little bit too small a project, but that's fine.
It's a good test of a project.
So, Tanglements, rest, downtime activities. So, in terms of that, you basically just have to roll an action to determine what you're going to do to try and source a drum.
Okay.
And obviously, if Mist is wishing to assist in that, and like trying to delve into her own sources or do whatever she wants to do to try and help in the sourcing of a new drum, roll whatever action you feel would be the way to do that.
For me, that would be consort, because that's like connections, gain access to resources.
Yeah.
And information and stuff.
I would allow such a thing.
So I do that. Is that controlled?
Yeah, I'd say controlled.
And just standard and no additionals.
Yeah, standard, no additional.
Okay.
So you've got a 4. And Thunder, what are you going to be doing to try and do this thing?
I'm going to similarly attempt consorting, but I'm shite at it.
You can try an old consort, or like I said, if you can think of anything else that would work.
What are you?
None of the skills that I'm any good at are really wouldn't really. I mean, I could attune to try and follow the vibes to a drum.
I mean, you could try to follow the vibes, or you could ask some of your friends on the other side.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
You
that.
seen a drum kicking about?
Yeah. Mary, you seen a drum? Steve!
I can stop asking Mary about things.
Now you mention it. I was hanging around a toilet the other day and I saw...
Nope, 3.
Let's have a look at what that means. So, in terms of that, but in terms of group projects and stuff, the number you roll isn't necessarily failure or success. It's how many... Technically, I've started a clock. This game loves its clocks.
Yeah.
And depending upon what you roll, depends upon how many sections of that clock get filled in.
Okay.
Okay.
So, on this particular thing, I should be able to press this. You're filled in 3 sections.
Okay.
So, through Mist sources and through your consulting of spirits and following the vibes and feeling the vibrations of Thunder as you try to source it, you feel like you probably do, during this particular downtime, you feel like you probably do have an idea of where you can find it. It's just a case of getting the time to go there. get it.
Okay.
And I apologize for the Daedry or because I just had to create a sheet, and it's a
that's
random.
the name it made.
So, yeah. So so this particular downtime you haven't managed to get the drum, but you are pretty sure you know where you can get one the next time you get some downtime.
Okay. Well, with that, I'm assuming
that
that's the end of
bombshell.
the session.
Yeah.
So, we're going to say goodnight. We've gone a lot later than
We
usual,
didn't die.
but we started a lot later than usual as well. So,
Yeah.
you know, both of those things are perfectly fine. If you guys like us...
I apologize for those in the chat who know the rules a lot better than I do, even though I know the rules quite a bit, but yeah, I've still struggled with some of them.
Thank you for all your help in the chat. If you like what you've seen, please do hit that follow button. It's a great way for you guys to know when we go live, a completely free way that you can support us on the channel. We've got the following streams coming up. Tomorrow night, most of us are going to be back. Actually, all of us who are here at the moment are going to be back for D&D, with the continuation of the Adventures of the Golden Tooth. The group is in Sizith Morcaine. You have struck a blow to the fire giants by killing one of their leaders off. And now you are going to find a captured dragon and hopefully secure yourself a very powerful ally in Sizith Morcaine to help you take it back from the fire giants. On Thursday, Angel over on the Angel Games Player channel is going to be playing some more Bioshock 2, because they've just started that and it's really cool.
Coindly, that was a different game.
That's the first one.
It is.
On Friday, Jeff is going to be doing a thing. What that thing is known only to Jeff.
Dancing. He's going to tap dance.
Maybe.
Live.
Jeff even knows.
Oh, Jeff is aware that he's doing a thing,
Just doesn't know what.
but I don't know what that thing is.
Okay.
On Sunday,
No one
the
knows.
Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage game continues with more D&D, because D&D. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
So much.
On Monday next week, I will be starting Mass Effect 3, because I didn't really want to start it about an hour and a half into a stream yesterday, because that would be weird. And next Tuesday, we will be back at, hopefully at about 8, to do more Blades in the Dark, and continue this, and,
Yes.
yeah. It'll be fun.
And hopefully get better rolls. Hopefully the dice gods make sacrifices to the dice gods, guys.
So that's all the stuff what's coming up. In the meantime, I'm gonna throw us over to who's live that we can raid. Sorry, who is that, Sean?
That is a very good question.
I've got a Ms. Luna Magic who is doing some Battlefield 5 at the moment. So we'll throw you guys over there. Give her some love. We'll see you guys again real soon. For now, so long.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Poodles.